XF Waynesville and iHeart radio station.
I'm Christine Lisi. Not clear right now what's going on with Stephon Diggs and the Bills. Coach Sean McDermott today said their number one receiver was not at the team's mandatory minicamp. He called the absence very concerning. The Bills did confirm Diggs was at their facility yesterday and this morning and then left before today's practice. Panthers won't be announcing whether injured star Matthew Tkachuk will play in a must-win Game 5 Stanley Cup final until puck drop tonight against Vegas. The Rangers hired Peter Laviolette as their new coach. He gets a 3-year deal. The Heat, coming off disappointment in the NBA Finals, facing some big questions this NBA offseason, including what assets it'd be willing to put in a trade to acquire another star to pair with Jimmy Butler. ESPN NBA insider Brian Windhorst.
They obviously have a need at the offensive end of the court, and they're in position to make a deal. They have Tyler Hero coming on to his big new contract. He is a player who has some value in the league. Duncan Robinson totally rebuilt his value throughout this great postseason run. And they have the 18th pick in this draft.
Our Brian Windhorst on Get Up.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Green, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. We're seen everywhere on YouTube. This is probably one that you want to tune in for, just to see the face on the one, the only, the Flostradamus.
Breathe it in, man! Breathe it in! Let's go! It only took 3 years. But we have retired for the last time. You will never hear me say, my 2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets.
That's a lie.
You'll never hear me say it again, ever. Because last night, something happened. And they're no longer my 2023 Denver Nuggets. Now, they're your 2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets. I shared them with all of you.
Did there.
Breathe it in, man. It's the summer of Jeremy, and this is how it starts. Last night was a beautiful, beautiful time for me. And when Tank got here this morning, he didn't ask a question that I thought was just an absolute layup.
Yeah, how much did you have to drink?
And I'll answer that question. I had 2 tall boys. I had 4 small boys. I had a bottle of champagne.
An entire bottle? By yourself?
Well, here's the thing. HWA is a Heat fan. I'm a Nuggets fan. So we made a little wager on the series. And we agreed when it was over, we'd crack open the bottle and celebrate like apt competitors.
Mm-hmm.
She fell asleep, which meant to the victor went the spoils. And then there was also half of a half gallon of Fireball. Breathe it in, man!
Holy cow!
Let's go!
How are you still alive?
Oh, I cried. I cried like a little kid that biddled their pants on the playground.
Oh, the image.
I cried like you ever been watching a show and like a kid gets an ice cream cone and they go to lick it and the ice cream falls off and they just boo-hoo?
Mm-hmm.
That was me for about 4.5 solid minutes. After the clock hit zeros.
Wow.
And I'll be honest with you, I haven't cried like that I don't think I've ever cried like that somebody didn't die. I mean, I went to my knees. Brian Haynes bared witness to this. I went to my knees, I put my head in my hands, and I just absolutely sobbed.
And the neighbors came up from the next floor, the floor below going, what happened?
Oh, no, the neighbors were already very perturbed. Based on the officiating. The good thing is that Amy was asleep in the first half. So I had to yell at the officials in mime. Do you know how hard it is to do that?
We've all done it.
Then she woke up, and I was making up for lost time. It was a great night. You know, you're NBA champions. It's a great day to be alive. If you're watching us on YouTube, see the little celebratory banner right there at the bottom. They're not mine anymore. This is America's
They're
team.
ours.
They're all of ours.
They're ours. The Denver Nuggets closing out the Miami Heat in the NBA Finals to become the NBA champions for the first time in franchise history. And I'm still just trying to get over the thought of Hillbilly Jim over here sobbing in his beers and his half-gallon of Fireball.
Well, as Sloan Jordan said, marries the love of his life, no tears. Nuggets win a title, tears. There were tears when I got married.
There were.
It actually happened several times. B, according to the state laws of the state of North Carolina, you cannot be in the shape I was in and say I do to anything. So we were a little more socially lubricated last night than we were.
Thank God you weren't being social at that moment.
Oh, nobody would have wanted to watch the first half with me. If you follow me on Twitter, you already know what I'm talking about. Because the NBA was this close to having a big old problem on their hands. Because the first half of that game was a joke. It was genuinely a joke.
Oh, it was rigged? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's number one trending word on Twitter. I didn't say it. You know who said it? America did. Then about halftime, they went, okay, physical basketball's fine, but we need stars. And it went the way it should. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, Miami just ran out of stars. They didn't have anybody to shoot. And, Jimmy Butler was Hemi Butler for 4 minutes. Other than that, he was Jeffrey Butler. I don't know who that guy was, but he wasn't him by any stretch of the imagination. And now Miami will go out and chase Damian Lillard, and they'll probably be back here in a year. If not here, they'll be close.
They will be close. It's funny that you said that, because I was looking at the futures, the 2024 odds right now to win the NBA Finals.
Is it already time to do it?
It's already time to do it. Place your bets now, ladies and gentlemen, for
your 2024 NBA champion Denver Nuggets
at plus 500.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not.
No,
I got it plus 2,500, which it's been a day, boys. Not gonna lie,
but you're not doing that.
I opened up all of Jeremy's gambling apps and went, well, that's nice. I like
that's easy
all
money
of that.
though, isn't it?
No, it's hard to repeat. It's really hard to repeat in this league. This team stays intact. They're going to be just really formidable to deal with for a long time. And last night, I told intern Jake, who is joining us again today, he asked me for a little prop bet parlay. And the number one thing I said was, whatever Michael Porter's points are, go over it. Because everybody's going to lose their mind on Aaron Gordon, and it'll probably be Michael Porter. Mm-hmm. And I'll be dadgummit if it wasn't. He's still not good. He still makes my brain bleed, but he stepped up last night.
But I only need him once.
And that's how this went. You had a game of KCP, you had a game of Aaron Gordon, you had a game of Michael Porter Jr., and that's 4-1. Gentleman's sweep, as I told you it would be. Ooh, what did Jeremy get wrong in this series?
Denver lost at home. That's the only thing you got wrong.
Yeah, I said they would lose a game. I just thought it'd be Miami.
Yeah, but you said there was also no shot that they were going to lose a game at home because they don't lose at home. That's
okay.
I'm just facts. Don't care about your feelings. That is the only thing you got wrong. I feel like I'm being charitable here.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Right. So 4-1, Denver Nuggets take down the Miami Heat. And it still doesn't. It still doesn't feel real. Just seeing.
It does to me.
Just seeing the jersey, and the trophy being held up, and the front of the jersey say Denver.
It feels real to me.
Feels weird. It feels real weird. Of course, we said the same thing when we saw the Philadelphia Eagles win. The first time you ever saw the Red Sox win. Shut up, Jake. I know you were just born then. We were talking before the show. Intern Jake is markedly younger than the two of us.
And yet somehow was still singing Hall & Oates songs, which I don't know a Hall & Oates song.
That's not even kind of true. If I played it, you'd know it.
Yeah, but I don't know it's Hall & I wouldn't be driving down the road going, ooh, Hall & Oates.
He couldn't break out into song and verse like Jake and I could.
No.
Oh, I wish I'd recorded that. That was a sight for some eyes.
I mean, they're great songs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a weird way to say mediocre. But I've never heard mediocre said that way before.
Throwing shade at Hall & Oates. Songbirds of their generation.
They're the Miami Heat of bands. Hey, fine. You're not winners.
Not winners.
You're not winners.
Not winners. Okay. All right.
In the chat, there is a consensus that if I'm this insufferable right now, what, for the love of all that's good and holy, would happen if the Jets won a Super Bowl?
So let's go there.
Boys and girls, I am here as your great Flostradamus, the teller of all things future, and tell you you're going to get to find out in about 8 months. It's my year, man. Bring it in. Florida State National Championship, New York Jets, Super Bowl, Denver Nuggets. Let's go.
This is
my year. It's my year, baby. This is my year. You know when you go to
be a hell of a year.
You go to an Asian restaurant and they have all the years of the animals.
Yeah,
that's good. For whatever reason, the word animal was really tripping me out there. Well, if you look at on them this year, it's just a picture of a big mulleted lumberjack.
Right.
It's the year of the mullet. Oh, I'm making that a thing. I didn't do that on purpose, but I'm making that a thing.
Mullet.
It's the year of the mullet.
So it's a fish. On the Chinese calendar, it's a fish.
Sure. I'm sure it's a delicious fish. Well, no, don't eat fish.
Any fish?
No.
How have I never known this about you?
Mahi-mahi. I won't eat any other fish. I watch people eat catfish, and I'm like, just like dirt? I mean, you're just a big fan of dirt? Because catfish are bottom feeders. They're gross.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't like fish.
But you know what?
I have the dietary selections of an 8-year-old. Okay? I eat chicken nugget. Well, a drunk 8-year-old. It's chicken nuggets, ketchup, French fries, and Fireball.
You ever really dig into what pigs eat?
I don't care.
I'm
They're
just
delicious.
Curious. I mean, if you're going to be that way about the fish,
yeah, they're delicious. And I don't have to pluck them. I just put it in the fire.
You don't pluck fish either.
You have to scale them and debone them.
This is Jeremy's extent of outdoor knowledge. We're going to pluck the scales from the fish.
I don't care what you do with it.
You'll be there a long time, brother.
It's not just pluck them. I'm good.
So it's the year of Jeremy.
It's the year of the mullet.
I guess. Okay.
Yeah. Hashtag year of the mullet.
I'm trying to think. The closest I ever came to that was, it was what? Red Sox, Tar Heels, 2004, 2005, right there in that area.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I want you to really think about the teams that Jeremy cares about. It's been a minute, and I've never had a pro title, ever. That's the first one I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, because you've been a Knicks fan.
Yeah. Then I got burned out by James Dolan. It just took a few years of... And you know what? Jason Trump's exactly right.
Yep.
All the credit goes to HWA. Married her, changed the fortunes, and now you all have to reap the benefits of the year of the mullet.
God, I hope Georgia and Florida State play in the national championship game. That's going to be so much fun.
I do, too. Your quarterback that looks like he just graduated middle school. Jared Verse hits him 413 times.
It could be a fun college football
it's going to be a fun year, and it all starts with last night. It was fantastic. It was Jokic in the post game. I know, Tank, you were asleep by the time all these things happened, but watching Nikola Jokic, to me, I don't understand how anybody doesn't like this guy. I really don't. Did you hear him at the podium?
Yeah.
So we
heard it.
We have the video.
You said after the Lakers win, you said you were surprised that you didn't feel more. So I'm curious what you are feeling right now, and if you're looking forward to a parade coming up in Denver.
When parade? When is parade?
Thursday.
No. I need to go home.
No, I need to go home.
Okay.
I can't wait 2 days for the parade.
How do you not love that guy? Oh, I have to go home. I have a horse that needs to be fed bad.
I mean, I get it. You know, I can't imagine what it would be like to live away from your family like he does.
Well, I mean, he's got two brothers that apparently just follow him around like they're his roadies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also reasonably sure our buddy Bert Kreischer, when he told that machine story, I found I found Igor.
Yeah.
Those are gigantic humans.
Absolutely.
Did you notice he look at his wife and you're like, does she ever just get tired of staring directly up at everyone she talks to? And then he has the little girl, and she's trying to catch the confetti, and you just look at the guy. He MVP trophy on the stand.
Mm-hmm.
Stan Kroenke had to pick it up because that's how little he cares about your little trinket. I love it. I love this team. I love it.
You love it, but I'm still not convinced that it sells.
Ratings tell you it does. Finals in the last 7 years. You know how many of them rated higher than this one? Cleveland Cavaliers, Golden State Warriors. End the message, repeat the line. There ain't another one.
Nice. Well, I mean, I hope so. But every time I watch the Denver Nuggets, I go, why the hell does the best player in the world just have to be so bland?
Hold on. So you have a problem. You.
Yes.
Captain Khakis.
Yes.
Mr. Steak Sauce over here.
I didn't say I'm a trendsetter. I'm just saying I don't know that people are going to get behind the greatness of Nikola Jokic.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. If we're looking for trends, I don't know that we're looking to you there, Hall & Oates. It's just a thought. I don't necessarily know that anybody's ever said, oh, my God, I have to get me one of those. Tank Spencer was wearing it.
No.
Unless they work at a middle school cafeteria. Then they're like, that guy is a trendsetter.
Yeah.
Socks, khakis tucked into the socks, shirt tucked into the khakis. That's a look.
That's right. Nikola Jokic is not a superstar.
You're
drunk. In the superstar sense of the word.
Oh, you want to? How many players in the NBA since the playoffs started have sold more jerseys than Nikola Jokic?
How many?
Zero. None, and it's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
I think this narrative is so stupid, and we got to take a break. But but I want you to double down on what you just said.
Okay.
And I'm probably gonna yell. I'm gonna be honest because I've heard this, and I don't get it in the least.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
Here's to the dads, the ones who show us what it means to love unconditionally, to laugh uncontrollably, and to live life with dignity. At Ingalls, we know that Dad doesn't always get the most attention. So this Father's Day, join us in giving the dads their due, along with the neckties, golf balls, and funny cards. We love you, dads, every day of the year. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
I'm Israel Gutierrez. I'm hosting a new podcast called 4 Years of Heat. It takes you to Miami from 2010 to 2014, when LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade set the NBA ablaze.
You know, have an opportunity to team up with the best trio to ever play the game of basketball.
We'll take you inside those 4 monumental years with behind-the-scenes access and insight about one of the greatest teams ever assembled. 4 Years of Heat on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Why do you change your car's air filter? Because when it's clogged, it doesn't work. The same is true of your nose, the body's air filter. It's great at trapping allergens, dust, and viruses, but unless you clean it regularly, they can stay trapped, making you miserable. I'm Martin Hoke, inventor of Navage, the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, helping to flush out allergens, mucus, and germs. Here's a testimonial from a verified purchaser and a big Navage fan. Quote, I've been suffering for 30 years with chronic sinus infections and allergies. I stumbled across Navage. The suction is amazing. It cleared my sinus cavities better than anything I've tried before. Unquote. Navage has over 120,000 reviews with a 4.6-star average written by people who use Navage to breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Wash your body's air filter with Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Hold up, you're using Swiffer Power Mop? What would Mom say?
Oh, she'd be like, a mopping bucket is the only way to deep clean your floors. And I'd be like, Mom, this is the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one that gets you a mop and bucket clean in half the time.
She'd never believe you.
I'd say, look, the solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket. And the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get into grout lines. That's why you're the smart one.
Really?
What? Mom said it.
The new Swiffer Power Mop. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
The Sportsocracy.
Some good team family fun there.
It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Also seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. And
celebrate your 2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets.
And the most nondescript star we've ever seen.
Let's just, you know what, everybody in your cars just hug your steering wheel bell, be like we're having a great big old group hug together. Just now, you said before the break that this didn't sell. Well, let me take your opinion, because you are not exactly the fan that the NBA is looking for, because you're not a big NBA guy. You'll admit that.
Absolutely.
Have you ever been a big NBA guy?
Yes.
When?
I mean, back when my team was good.
Okay.
Which was
so
like 4 years.
Okay, so you're that stereotypical fan that only watches when your team's good.
Yeah, for the most part.
They're not after you. First of all, because you pull for a team that, well, they ain't good very often.
They're never good.
Although, Brandon Miller, you're going to have him in 2 weeks. It's a nice selection. Charlotte Hornets. Something to make you feel warm and fuzzy. When you watch Victor Wembanyama pick up a Spurs jersey and go, oh, we were so close to that.
So close.
Here's what I have noticed for many years. A ton of the average basketball fan has said, and I know you've heard this argument, they don't play any defense. It's just a three-point shooting contest. Nobody ever passes. All they do is travel, blah, 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 blah. This team doesn't do that. And if you look at the ratings, LeBron James and Steph Curry have always sold. I have told you there is a problem coming for the NBA because you don't really have a bad guy and you didn't really have a good guy. Now you got a good guy. If you're the stereotypical, I don't watch it because they don't play any defense, then you like the Denver Nuggets because they do. I mean, Jokic doesn't specifically. He's very large and gets in the way. He's the best passing big man in NBA history, and that's, to me, not even debatable at this point.
No, it's not.
And this is more of an old – if that's what you want, what you have claimed to me for years is that you want more fundamental basketball. You want guys that play defense. You don't want to just watch track meets. I found you a team. And the ratings bear it out that a lot of people feel the exact same way. And now I ask you, name me in this next generation of players, name me a player that's more marketable than Nikola Jokic.
Ooh.
I'll give you Victor Wembanyama, but only because he's so unbelievably good. To me, he is boring as in terms of personality. He doesn't have one.
Now, you have me there because I can't think of one that I mean, I would have said before all of this transpired with Ja, I would have said Ja would be more marketable.
Ja's not likable.
Before this latest thing with Zion, I would have said Zion was more marketable.
Zion's never on the floor.
I completely understand. I'm the one that makes that argument all the time. I just can't see a world where Nikola Jokic is the face of the NBA.
Welcome to
I don't know that he'll ever be. I don't know that he'll ever be embraced by the fans.
Well, in the break, you said he'll never be Michael Jordan or LeBron James. No kidding. You just the two most marketable players in the history of professional sports. Oh, so he's not that? I don't even know why he continues to play. I guess he should just go back to Serbia and feed his horses.
Nobody's saying he needs to quit the game.
Is he more marketable than Kevin Durant?
No.
Yeah, he is. You know why? Because Kevin Durant has a Twitter. And the more he talks, the more absolutely unlikable he is. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are like neck and neck for most irritating personality. You can't not like Jokic. Now, you can be glib to it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really like this sport and you want somebody to get behind, it's pretty easy to get behind him.
Sure.
A kid that toted around his infant throughout the entire trophy process and then left behind the MVP trophy because he forgot it. Jamal Murray is pretty easy to get behind.
So does Jokic have a shoe?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know who has one, and I don't know why anybody cares. The last time I saw anybody wearing an NBA shoe that wasn't a Jordan, I think I was still playing basketball. The shoe thing means nothing to me.
But that speaks to the marketability of a superstar.
Name
right?
me a superstar that has a shoe that you have ever seen in a store. Ever. I was in a finish line 2 weeks ago. Yeah. I didn't see one.
You didn't see one?
Not one.
None of the KDs
saw a bunch of Jordans.
Or the...
I saw a bunch of Jordans.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of a KD, if it was there, I didn't know what it was.
Right.
No clue. I work in marketing, and I had absolutely no idea what it I got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about your shoe. I care, do you get eyeballs onto the finals? Somebody in this series did.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Miami Heat have already been here, and nobody watched it. So, I hate to be so glib about this, but when you hear hoofbeats, it makes a massively more sense to assume horses than zebras.
Notorious B.I.G. in the YouTube comments says, Jokic is about as marketable as popcorn in a microwave.
Orville Redenbacher's done just fine. I'm not so sure I understand that. I hate popcorn, so I'm the wrong person to say that.
But I just don't understand how you don't see this. I mean, I don't understand
how you don't see. Do you get? You're worrying about things that are from a long gone era. Shoes, nobody cares. Straight up, nobody cares.
Okay.
Oh, you got this huge deal from Nike. Cool. Hey, let's play a fun game. Draw me what Kevin Durant's shoe looks like. I'll give you 100 tries. You'll never come close. Actually, you know what? I think this could be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to dig a little bit and find 5 active NBA players' shoes. If you get one of them right, I'll be dumbfounded. Literally dumbfounded. And I'll let you team up on it.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of them have their logos on it, and you still won't get it right. You're just worrying about the wrong thing. The NBA has a problem that nobody watches it. Mm-hmm. They're drawing 1-2s on weekday games. You were throwing 14s and 15s in final games. LeBron didn't do that because we got tired of it. We watched it in the bubble. Nobody watched it because it was going up against the NBA Finals or going up against the NFL, excuse me. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Phoenix Suns, they didn't throw that number. So you're telling me we didn't watch Miami against LeBron, but now, 3 years later, you know what? We had a change of heart. And now Miami is the most marketable team in the NBA. But, I mean, your shoe deal means nothing to me.
Your pop culture crossover matters when it comes to the marketability of the league.
Okay, who has it?
There's no one right now.
That's the point. Why does nobody have it? It's not because there aren't guys they could market. It's because nobody cares. That is a long gone era of marketing.
Okay.
James Harden has a shoe and has had one for years.
Mm-hmm.
I literally could have 50 boxes of them in here. You wouldn't know what it was. I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Did Nike just all of a sudden become terrible at making marketing athletes? No. They stopped fixating on it. The most popular shoe for the last 3 years was made by Kanye West. I don't think we care at this point about an NBA player's shoe.
Mm-hmm.
I care, can you get butts in a seat? Denver was electric. People were obviously watching the finals. It was the number one thing trending on Twitter for 5 straight days. So somebody's watching it. If it's because it's competing against nothing, okay. And I'm not necessarily trying to tell you that Jokic is going to be doing movies and things like that. He gets people to watch their television set. And at this point, very little does that. Name me a baseball player that does that. I'll wait. Because I would argue one, and I think he's played 4 games.
They like Shohei.
Oh, yeah. I mean, check those Angel numbers. I mean, I'm sure those West Coast Angel games are really throwing a huge TV number. That kid for the Cincinnati Reds might be the most marketable player in their game. And he's played, 4 games in the league?
Mm-hmm.
The NFL is the only thing that's really marketable at this point because you put somebody on it and your grandmother or your mother or your sister or your father or people that don't watch this sport, they don't know who it is. They have no clue. Luka Doncic, you put him in a commercial. What percentage of people even know who that is? Put Nikola Jokic in a commercial. How many people do you think know who that is?
I would say a fraction more.
I wouldn't say it's a fraction more.
Really?
If for nothing else, because he's so easy to identify because he's a house. There's not many 7'1" guys that look like that.
Yeah.
300 pounds and frankly don't care.
So that we've had these discussions about the international players and their lack of marketability, but now you're telling me that this is marketable.
It's not so much that I think we're loosely saying the same thing, but you're worrying about things that don't matter to me.
Okay.
Your shoe deal, your apparel deal.
I get they don't matter to you, but I think they matter to the league. I think having a crossover star.
Who was the last one they pushed? Outside of LeBron James.
Well, they've had LeBron, they had Kyrie, they've had KD.
Kyrie. They pushed him with what? Uncle Drew, which was just an unbelievable just flop of epic proportions. Oh, weird. And then they haven't done that anymore. I wonder why that could possibly be. But then you look at the ratings, and outside of Golden State with Curry, I mean, I'm looking at all of them in front of me. You had this exact same team in the NBA Finals 3 years ago. You did over a full 2 share higher. And you're right there with what Golden State and Boston, who are 3 of the most marketable teams in the league. You're right in line with what they did. Yeah, but I'm sure that's because of Miami. I'm sure that's not because of a team that people actually like to watch.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
With a clear sky and light winds tonight, the low should eventually cool down to 51. And then after some early sunshine Wednesday, there may be an isolated shower thunderstorm during the afternoon as winds pick up out of the west and the high hits 81. Still a slight chance for a shower thunderstorm on Wednesday night with a low of 57. On Thursday, it will be a little bit wetter with scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms at a high close to 81. Then a dry Friday with sunshine and a high reaching 84 degrees. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A. Copyright 2023.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. Another dinger? Wow, what a game! Mark, you're the man for springing these seats.
My pleasure, buddy. I've got some extra spending cash these days, and I'm happy to share.
Extra cash? You driving rideshare or something?
Nope, way easier than that. I'm using Upside, the free cashback app that pays real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use Upside every time I fill up my tank, and I've already made around $200.
You've made around $200 just for buying the gas you were going to buy anyway?
Pretty smart, right?
Very smart. With my new long commute, I could be putting serious cash back in my pocket. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ACTION to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ACTION for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ACTION for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to ESPNAVL.com. Start your July 4th off with a bang. It's the Asheville Independence Day races. It all takes place at the Carrier Park Velodrome with fun, fast, and flat courses. Bring the family and friends for this great holiday event. You can choose from the 5K, the Firecracker Loop Run for kids, and new this year, the Wicked Beer Mile for ages 21 and up. For more information and to get signed up, go to avlindependenceday5k.com, avlindependenceday5k.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia, Asheville.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
At Ingles Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, and I got to do an update to one of Jeremy's stories.
Oh, Tank has been as fired up about this as I am about, well, you know.
Because it's absolutely ridiculous. So this baby Gronk thing, the 10-year-old kid his dad is out here parading him around as obviously the next Rob Gronkowski. He's a freak athlete, and he only eats, he never eats any carbs, and he does all his exercises, and he eats his vegetables and says his prayers and hoorah. This guy he has to be stopped. He has to be stopped. Today, a video came out from the Bring the Juice pod. It's at Bring the Juice pod is their name. And the two guys are interviewing baby Gronk. So they're asking him questions, and all the while, Dad is sitting next to him. And they'll ask a question, and then Dad tells the kid what to say, and then the kid repeats it. And it's not like, just one game at a time kind of stuff. The whole Crash Davis thing when he was trying to teach Nuke LaLoosh and Bull Durham how to talk to the media. It's none of that. It's how can you give the most obnoxious xenial answer possible to any of these questions? I'm going to play you a real clip here as they were asking baby Gronk, whose plan at the moment, or Dad's plan anyway, for baby Gronk is to not go to school. Which I mean, hello, are we not calling some numbers, checking up on this kid? Like, that's not a good idea. I get homeschooling is a thing, but I don't know. Maybe this guy's got tutors on retainer for his kid. But here's the question, and then listen for the kid's response, and then the dad telling him basically to start over and give the right response.
Sharp and keep your skills up if you're actually not going to go through with middle school and high school.
Just work out.
No, I'm gonna get massages. I'm gonna get full body massages by some baddies. All right, ready? Go. You want to ask it again, bro?
Yeah.
All right, go.
I saw that you're foregoing middle school and high school football. How are you going to keep preparing yourself to play college football in this whole process?
I'm going to get body massages by baddies.
Seriously?
Yeah.
This is how you're teaching your 10-year-old to talk.
If we would stop giving this guy any, I told the story of, hey, be on the lookout for this because this is gross. Now, conversation probation.
Yes, this absolutely proves it. I'm just saying, as a society, we need to band together and go, no more baby Gronk dads. All right? Well, I mean, we let LeVar Ball have his moment in the sun.
Never lost.
Right. But this is to just a completely different level. It's just a sickening feeling.
Frankly, it's hard to watch.
Absolutely, it's hard to watch.
When I saw the story initially, I went, this is gross. This is gross, and I don't like it.
No, this is not to be glorified. This is not to be emulated, and that's my fear.
No, and this is one of the things that drives me, and I hate to tie this back into the last conversation we just had. This is the era we're living in. What you getting views on TikTok, you being an influencer, means way more than your shoe does.
Mm-hmm.
This kid has more influence than a lot of NBA players.
More than Nikola Jokic, probably.
Yeah, you're wrong there. Which is one of the grosser things I think I've ever said.
Does Nikola tweet in broken English?
No. He's not a tweet guy. Do you like the game?
That's kind of my point.
you're missing my point of.
Oh, I see your point.
He brings something
eyeballs. I get it.
He brings something that nobody has in a long time.
Yes.
Now, that brings eyeballs for. Stop watching stupid things on TikTok. Something else you should stop doing: Jell-O shots.
But why? Why do we stop doing that?
You've obviously never had one of the nights that I'm getting ready to outline. We're headed into the College World Series, and that means it's time for Rocco's to come back into the news. If you don't know what Rocco's is, it is a bar right outside of the stadium, and they sell Jell-O shots. They put every team up on a board. Every fan that comes in and buys one of their $4.50 Jell-O shots, okay? I mean, I ain't been in Nebraska in a long time. That's like $1.50, bro. Hey, let's stop high margining people here. $4.50 for a Jell-O shot? Are you on drugs?
That's a lot.
Do you know what the record was set last year?
Yeah, it was
over
like
the
Mississippi
course of the
State's
week.
fans, wasn't it?
Nope, Mississippi State held the record, and Ole Miss went in there and qualified last year.
Okay.
Take a stab at how many they had in a week. I'll take an answer from both of you.
2,500.
All right, Tank's in at 2,500. Jake?
I'm going to go a little bit above that, maybe 3,000.
Let's go 18,777.
Oh,
and now, in this year's tournament, we got a contender, Rock, because they have said they're coming for the title.
Oh, my God.
And it's the LSU Bayou Tigers. They have said that they are bringing a force with them to Omaha, and their goal is not just to beat 18,777. They want to go over 25,000 in a week. First of all, I don't know how much you know about bar business. You make a crazy overhead on Jell-O shots. So last year, Rocco's made so much, they gave $2 from every one of these shots to charity and still made money.
Nice.
And according to Rocco's, they will be doing it again this year.
Of course they will, because that is a handy chunk of change right there.
Last year, they made over $130,000 in profit solely from Jell-O shots during the College World Series.
18,000 at $4.50 a pop.
That's
a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a whole mess of dollars. So good for them. And hopefully the LSU fans will be, safe.
Well, here's the thing.
In Omaha.
Well, here's the thing. Bayou Tigers, if you need a ringer, I'm only but a phone call away. All right?
How many Jell-O shots can Jeremy do?
In a week? I'm mathing. 250?
Excuse me?
250.
Again, how are you not dead?
Well, me and Bert Kreischer, we're
night.
We're right there together.
You're here for a good time, not a long time.
Oh yeah, I tapped out on my 60s a long time ago. We're currently.
I think you've tapped out on your 40s, and you're quickly going toward. I think I'm gonna have cirrhosis of the liver by the time I'm 34.
Have you ever noticed that people like me never die? Keith Richards. I ever wonder? We're built different. We're built different, folks.
Let's just hope that liver holds out.
Oh, it's fine. I was built.
Wager that it's not fine.
I was built for durability. I'm like a rugged off-road vehicle. May not go real fast, but by golly, deal with some rough terrain.
Wow, 2,500. You said in a week.
250. Oh, if I did 2,500, it'd be bad. Although I bet I could put together a team that, hey, LSU, if you're buying, I'm flying. Let's go.
Good night. That's like,
I mean, I'm a West Virginia, Florida State feller, and they're both long at home. So let's go. I'll be a Tiger. I can even do that Brian Kelly accent. Me and my family hadn't even won all my games yet. Let's go.
You do 250 Jell-O shots in a week. I guarantee you're not going to be saying much of anything by the end of it.
I want to say challenge accepted right now so bad. It's so much easier than you think. I've made so many of those. There's like a thimble in every one of them. Yeah, it could be so. And LSU, I'm here for you. Or any other team. Hey, you want to get me on a plane? I'm your Huckleberry.
All right, we had the one player in the NFL. He's going rogue. Stephon Diggs not showing up at mandatory minicamp. Although he did. He was there in the building.
This story
and then he missed practice or the walkthrough or whatever they were doing today. He wasn't there for. And then the story comes out, oh, God, he wasn't here. Sean McDermott responds when the media asks. He said, yeah, it's tough when the star player's not here, but he's not here. Like, we know where he is.
This is
He's
weird
got
story.
something going on. Nothing. It's disappointing that he's not here. And then the agent swoops in and says he's in Buffalo and he's going to be there for the rest of the camp.
This is a weird story. This is the audio from Sean McDermott earlier today. Oh.
Morning. Good morning.
First of all, he's...
All right, good morning. We'll go ahead and get started. Take your questions.
Sean, just a question about attendance. Is everyone here? And I know there's a lot of questions about Stephon.
Yeah, Steph is not here. Everybody else is here at the current time.
How concerned are you about that?
Oh, very concerned. Yeah, very concerned. I'm not going to get into and listen. I respect everyone's questions and what they want to know about our team. Right now, I'm not going to get into that anymore.
Oh, we got to do the coach speak thing. I said it. I lit the fire, and now I want you to put it out because you're just the irresponsible journalist trying to get me to say something.
What?
Well, that we're very concerned. Let it go. I'm going to say something. And I know I've been Captain Bill and I've been on the Bills bandwagon, and people think that I'm one of those that just I'll die on my shield. I have gotten to the point I think Sean McDermott is a complete doofus. And that's me being as nice as I can.
Okay.
I don't know that there are 5 coaches in the NFL that are stupid enough to do what he went to a podium and did today. And if you don't believe me, look at how quick the agent responded. Because the part you left out of this, not only is he in Buffalo, he met with Sean McDermott yesterday. And the agent immediately went to Twitter to go, what the business is.
Why you're not at practice?
I don't know why he's not at practice.
See, that's the thing.
It's not a contract because literally you've already moved all the money. There's nothing you can do about it.
There's no contract negotiations going on here. He just signed an extension with them, so everything should be fine in that realm. He was here yesterday. I met with him face to face. We sat down in a room and talked about how we're going to win the Super Bowl this year. And then he didn't show up to practice this morning. What? I'm not in touch with him. I haven't heard anything from him. His agent hasn't reached out. He hasn't reached out. We probably tried to reach out. Why is that a bad thing that the coach says, yeah, I'm very concerned that he's not here. I thought he was going to be here.
Well, you've now created a story where I genuinely don't think there is one. I don't think there was anything to this. Was Stephon Diggs maybe trying to prove a point? Maybe. And so I just take you to look at the difference in the dichotomy of Chris Jones, who's not at mandatory camp, looking for a new deal, and Stephon Diggs. Now, in the comments, it seems to be a lot of people are saying that Stephon Diggs is very dramatic. I'm not going to tell you that's wrong. How many receivers have we seen do this over the years? I mean, diva wide receiver those two words were synonymous with each other for 10 years? I mean, I don't really care. He's a dynamic player, but Sean McDermott handled this terribly. And I'm getting to the point where, Buffalo's been a letdown for it feels like 10 straight years now. What's the consistent?
Sean McDermott.
Sean McDermott. It's that old saying of, man, I would just never hire a defensive coach. Wonder why he
so you
gets
think
no scrutiny.
they would have gotten the job done by now if, say, Brian Daboll had been their head coach?
I would say if you got the Pagulas in a room and gave them truth serum, they would be really open and honest of, man, we're really upset we let Brian Daboll get out of this building. Because look at what he's doing with way less with the New York Giants. Meanwhile, we've got Opie Taylor, who's got his fishing pole over his arm and headed down to the creek. And just, I'm so done with Sean McDermott. It's pathetic. Wow. I'm so done with him. It's pathetic. Every time he comes to a podium, I walk away going, Did you even think about that before it came out of your mouth? Did you even think about that before it came out of your mouth? When somebody says attendance, well, Stefan's not here. Is that a problem? We're dealing with it internally. Next.
Yep.
Here's your answer. Hey, I'll teach a class for about $1,000 an hour. That's the answer, and nobody be talking about this right now.
That's the way every other head coach
Andy
who's
Reid.
ever been to head coach school.
Andy Reid.
Right. Andy Reid, Bill Belichick, all of them. When I saw this story, I went, okay, it's no big deal. Stephon Diggs skips practice. Who cares? Right?
And then you started seeing all the tweets and all the it became the number one story on ESPN.com. But is it the number one story because he wasn't there, or is it the number one story because of what Sean McDermott said?
It's the number one story probably because of what Sean McDermott said.
There you go.
Yeah.
Chris Jones is not at camp either. Did you even know that before right now?
No, but again, that was expected. Yeah. I'm saying I can see where his mind was at. If he seriously had no clue, maybe he was very concerned. A player of mine is not here. He's a star player. I don't know what happened to him. I expect him to be here.
And you know what? I would be very, if I'm Sean McDermott, I just talked to you yesterday, I would be very upset that you're not here. And you know who I say that to?
Him.
Stephon Diggs.
Yes.
I don't say it to a room full of media members that make this a story.
Yes.
Because here's the thing, and I don't know why this is so hard for certain coaches to understand, and it's so easy for others to understand it. Anything you say, especially right now, NBA Finals are over. This is the dead times. Anything you say is going to become a story. You're between a rock and a hard place with Stephon Diggs. That's the other side of this. What's the win? If you want to make a controversy and you want to prove a point, okay. What's the win? You ain't getting out of his deal. Straight up. He has probably the most unmovable deal in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
It benefits you nothing to walk away from it. So what do you think you're going to do here? You've already renegotiated the deal, so you're not doing any of that.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the end game here? You're going to get in a room, and now you've made it uncomfortable with that star that you need to get where you want to get to. Yeah, that's coaching 101, Sean. And why am I not shocked? That, again, you have found a way to not understand that.
Mm-hmm. One of my first reactions was if I was the agent of Stephon Diggs, I'm super ticked right now. Any other star?
The agent was ticked. Yeah. That's why it took less than an hour for him to go, we're being a little disingenuous here, Opie.
Right, but what I'm saying is any other coach in the league would not have put me out there like that, would not have left my player exposed like that.
I can't say that none would do it. None that has been a head coach this long or is the coach of this level of contender would have done it. Zach Taylor would never do that. Even Nick Sirianni, who I think loves to spout off at the mouth, I don't think he would have done it. Sean McDermott, time and time again, finds a way to make himself the narrative, whether it's poor coaching decisions, whether it's things just not going right, whether it's the early exits in the playoffs. I can tie every one of these back to you. And now you're going into a year where the division is exponentially better. The New England Patriots are not an easy out, in spite of the fact that I don't give much credence. The division's way better, and now you don't have Leslie Frazier. So now it's all on you.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
So much of life these days is rushing around from one place to another. Sometimes you just want to enjoy the journey on the way to the destination. And part of what makes it a little more enjoyable is an appreciation for the folks who help you get there. At Ingalls, we know that the people who send you on your way are the same ones who keep you coming back.
I think you should take it for a spin. Are you serious?
Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime. at htb.com. Member FDIC.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
What's worse than calling your groin your junk? Treating it like junk. Respect your pubic region with Gillette Intimate. Gentle and easy pubic hair care from America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand. Gillette, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Wendy's Strawberry Frosty is back for the summer. Because if it's summertime, it's Frosty time. Beach time, Frosty time. Tea time, Frosty time. Me time, Frosty time. Treat yourself to Wendy's Strawberry Frosty this summer and make time for Frosty time. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's. Now open till midnight or later.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary.
Coffee's for closers, homie. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
I hate to be one that says I told you so, but yeah, you're right. I don't. If you've been listening to me since the start of this, then you got my NBA champion Denver Nuggets. I swear that's the last time I'm going to do that way. You got that at plus 2,500. Himola Jokic to be the MVP at plus 8 and some change when the playoffs started. And you're having a good day today. If you didn't, shame on you. Always listen to the Mullet with Futures, because that's now 2 #1 overall picks, an NBA champion, and a slew of conference champions in college football last year. It's just what I do. But tonight, we have a game that's actively happening. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. Game 5, Stanley Cup playoffs. I got the last one. I'm not saying this is my forte, but I'm learning it pretty quick. Florida Panthers are a 1.5 goal dog. Over-under is 6. If you watch the last game, you know this got really ugly by the end, and it started to look like a Floyd Mayweather, John Gotti III fight by the end of it. I could easily see the same thing happening tonight. What I've learned from our Canadan friend, Mr. Armchair Commentary, is when that happens, goals stop being scored and people start worrying about fighting with each other more. So tonight, I'm aggressive on under the 6. That takes me to plus 1.5 for Florida. Do I think Vegas wins this and ends it at home tonight? Yes, I do. But I think it's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 3-2, close at the end. Florida has a chance to win it, but they can't do it. Panthers plus 1.5. Under 6 goals. Knights win outright. Moneyline minus 190. For more, find us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. And as always, Green on Green is brought to you by Ingles Markets. Love the savings with Ingles. Love the winnings with me. Mullet out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
With a clear sky and light winds tonight, the low should eventually cool down to 51. And then after some early sunshine Wednesday, there may be an isolated shower thunderstorm during the afternoon as winds pick up out of the west and the high hits 81. Still a slight chance for a shower thunderstorm on Wednesday night with a low of 57. On Thursday, it will be a little bit wetter with scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms at a high close to 81. Then a dry Friday with sunshine and a high reaching 84 degrees. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Colonel Seasons, available at Walmart.
Colonel Seasons adds interesting to popcorn and a second-grade chorus recital.
Don't put kettle corn seasoning on your teachers. Put it on popcorn and be a good citizen.
Colonel Seasons. Just add interesting.
Stay cool this summer with AC Pro and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get a $15 O'Reilly Auto Parts gift card after rebate plus 2 times O Rewards points with the purchase of select AC Pro ready-to-use refrigerant products that include a hose and gauge. If your vehicle's AC is blowing hot air, beat the heat with AC Pro at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Humans can do a lot of amazing things. Fighting bugs? Ew, a bug, get it! Isn't one of them. STEM is powered by active ingredients found in plants to fight off bugs safely and effectively when used as directed. STEM, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
I'm Christine Lisi. A little confusion on this first day of practice at Bill's mandatory minicamp. Coach Sean McDermott told reporters star receiver Stephon Diggs was not there, called the absence very concerning. The Bills did confirm Diggs was at the team's facility yesterday and this morning, then left before today's practice. Following the NBA Finals loss to the Nuggets, the Heat will restock this summer, just as the team did in 2020 after the Finals loss to the Lakers. One star in particular would be a solid addition for Miami this offseason, says First Take host Stephen A. Smith.
I do believe that a guy like a Damian Lillard, who just finished averaging 32, who's one of the great shooters from the point guard position this game has ever seen, who's been a prolific scorer throughout most of his career, particularly in the latter years. I think somebody like him, just as an example, would be a perfect complement to Jimmy Butler.
The Panthers won't announce whether injured star Matthew Tkachuk will play in a must-win Game 5 Stanley Cup final until puck drop tonight against Vegas. Florida, a plus 162 underdog. The Rangers hired Peter Laviolette as their new coach. He gets a 3-year deal.
It's Wrangler season out there. Open roads, endless horizons. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles, made for your next adventure. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Green, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingalls Supermarkets.
This is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville on this Denver Nuggets Memorial Day, or Celebration Day. That's what you're calling it.
Bring it in, man! Just hug your steering wheel, act like we're all one big happy family, and take in the beauty that is your 2023 NBA champion, Denver Nuggets. We're all family today, folks. Yeah, we're all family.
Yeah.
Feels good? Feels good. Doesn't it feel good to be loved? Doesn't it feel good to be part of something?
Jeremy's happy, and now he's already predicting Florida State and the New York Jets will win championships this year.
It's the year of the mullet. No doubt. Year of the mullet. Started on June the 12th, which means I have 364 more days. Bring it in, man. Let's go. Let's go.
It is the Sportsocracy, and we are heard on 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400, and, of course, everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. You want to get in on the conversation? Hit us up in the YouTube comments. Go to the sportsocracy.com. Click the live video link. Subscribe to the channel, because that's how you get into the chat with us. And it is a Power Rankings Tuesday here on the Sportsocracy, and we're going to continue with our off-season position rankings, the top 13s, because Jeremy is the most superstitious man on the planet. He has 13 tattoos, and most of them feature 13.
Correct.
Which is so weird. Anyhow.
I'm a superstitious feller. Somebody in the comments said Jeremy did nothing last night but complain about the refs on Twitter. Yeah, have you ever noticed that Jeremy does that a lot?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there might be a superstition to that.
Drives me absolutely crazy.
Well, that's also part of it, too. If it can ruffle you, all the better.
It's a win. It's a win because he knows every time he does it, I just sit there and go, oh, I hate my phone.
I hate Twitter, and I hate that big mulleted moron, and I hate all the things. And his team gets to win, and I get Baker stupid Mayfield. Oh, it's a great day to be alive.
Oh, my gosh. All right, so top 13 receiving cores.
Now, this is tight ends, receivers. We are not factoring in running backs because we will be talking about that at a later date.
Absolutely. Though the running backs are used in the passing game in the modern day of the NFL. We get it. But this is just, these are your wide receivers and your tight ends.
Correct.
The best receiving cores in the NFL, top 13. Start from the bottom. Now we're here.
Just
number
like
13.
Drake, who started at Degrassi, and now he's a mediocre rapper.
Jake hates that.
Yeah, that was a terrible take right there.
I'm not gonna lie. Jake and I were discussing some, monetization things because intern Jake is literally by the end of the summer he will be able to replace us all. So this might be the Sportsocracy with intern Jake, and then me and Tank are just gonna be working at Home Depot. Man, we shouldn't have taught that kid as much stuff as we did. I pulled up a Drake video. I was trying to prove a point about monetization. And literally, I didn't even know what song it was. I didn't even look before I clicked on it. I'll go the first 4 lines. I went, that's Lil Wayne. And then I heard it and I went, oh no, it sucks. That's Drake. And when it sounds like Lil Wayne, but it makes my ears bleed, that's Drake. That's how I remember it.
Oh my Lord.
Nice.
It's okay. Jake's made me feel about 106 years old. Considering you didn't know what a Ryan's Steakhouse was earlier, I went, well, I didn't need a reason to drink, but thanks for giving me one.
Yeah, explaining things like that to a 20-year-old is... You feel like those are things you shouldn't have to do. Like, this restaurant was not closed that long ago.
Until you realize that it went bankrupt in 2016, which means that he never physically had the ability to drive a car to said restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Which means he missed the double hitter of the Shoney's breakfast buffet, hit the Ryan's at about 4, right in between that lunch, hit that 4 that 4B dinner combo. Let's go.
We're going back to super fat days.
Oh yeah, that's a day that's a day that you didn't accomplish much. You went home and sat on your couch and just went, I am a worthless piece of garbage, but I am so happy right now. I have eaten 10,000 calories. I am actually profusely sweating butter as we speak. And this is why no one loves me.
It's actually how Jeremy got his first complaint to the police department when he made a little girl cry at the Ryan's buffet because they were fighting over the Oreo chips at the Sunday bar.
Hey, look, okay. I was there first.
All right, top 13 wide receivers, or excuse me, receiving cores.
Pass catchers is the easier way to say that.
There you go. Pass catchers for 2023. Number 13.
So before we get in the list,
okay,
I had 2 that were right on the outside of my list.
Okay.
One of them was the New York Jets. I think they're right on they're right there.
Are they? That close?
Really? Garrett Wilson. End of message, repeat the line.
Right. Who else is in that receiving core?
You still got Corey Davis. You got somehow 413 tight ends. I'm not real sure how you're planning on deploying those, but and now apparently looking at signing another one.
And none of them are great.
I don't know that I agree with. I think they're all good. Tyler Conklin's the best of the bunch.
I saw a graphic earlier today that somebody put out. It was the best tight ends in every division of the NFL. And I looked at the AFC East and saw Dawson Knox's face and went, yep, that pretty much sums up the tight end scenario.
He's a top
with the Tennessee.
He's a top 10 tight end in the league.
AFC East.
Yeah, he's a top 10 tight end in the league. So it's, I mean, if it'd been Hunter Henry, okay. If they put CJ Uzomah in there, I'd have given you that.
I'm just saying, that's where you have to go after Dawson Knox. That's why in our chat, everybody kept saying, the Jets need a tight end because your best one is who?
Tyler Conklin.
Yeah, that guy that got rejected by the Minnesota Vikings.
They tried to re-sign him. We paid way more. Not saying we should have. Just saying he didn't get rejected. Let's be honest here, okay? I had the Jets right on the outside looking in. I do think Garrett Wilson will be a top 10 receiver in the NFL this year. The other team that just missed out was the Chicago Bears. And I know that sounds funny coming from me, but yes, I do. I do look at that receiving core now and go, and you just got a whole mess of them now. Like getting DJ Moore is the one. He's going to be a guy I am just hammered on for fantasy football this year.
You got Darnell Mooney, who had his moments without DJ Moore being on the other side of him.
And so now you just move everybody into where they belong. So you got DJ Moore is the 1, Mooney is the 2, Chase Claypool is the 3, and everything works all hunky-dunky.
That's the kind of 3 that I want, though. The kind of 3 that I can look at and go, you haven't been great in a while, but you've got all the potential in the world to be a really good 2. Just wish you had a better quarterback.
I can't disagree with that.
Okay. So now, That was 14 and 15. Who's 13?
Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Fire those cannons. By golly, put more powder in those things.
I saw a list. I went looking to see what others around the industry thought about my Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver.
If they're above 11, they're intoxicated.
I couldn't find a list that had us in the top 20, and to me, that's dumb.
Your weapons are still good, but see, and what they're doing is probably what I did.
They're knocking you because of Baker.
Bingo.
Right, and I get it.
And because I don't 100% really believe in any tight end you have. I think Tom made the tight ends look good because, well, Tom makes tight ends look good.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, you still got Mike Evans. I think the regression probably starts now. Chris Godwin, I'm always a little nervous. Is he going to be healthy? And then you get to Russell Gage, who, other than Pat Sajak, is the most overpaid person on the planet Earth. We'll get into that in a little bit. Oh, you have no idea. When you find out how much Pat Sajak makes, you are literally your mouth will drop. Mine did, and you surprise much easier than I do.
You got Mike Evans, you got Chris Godwin, and I'll even give a shout out to Cade Otton because I think he's better than Tyler Conklin right now.
And that's what drugs sounds like, children. That's you remember when we were kids and they said don't do drugs. It's because when you do, you say stupid things. He's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to throw shade at Cade Otton. Tyler Conklin is the modern day Troy Aikman for you. And it's on my team, and I know you're doing it to
a little bit
perturb me.
Cade Otton was on the New York Jets right now. He'd start.
You're not right, but I guess Tyler Conklin doesn't start. CJ Uzomah does.
That's even worse.
Jake
I befuzzled him. Yes.
No. See, sometimes he does things that really frankly, they just make me angry.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was the one that was speaking of CJ Uzomah a year ago being such a great locker room leader and such a great signing by the Jets, and now a year later he should be re-shingling at houses. And that's what Tank does, and that's why Jeremy drinks. Because I have to deal with it every day, and it makes me so angry. Either who. Tampa Bay was my 13.
Yeah, Tampa Bay at 13. All right.
Do you have a list, or are you just going off mine?
I'm going off your list because
Okay.
I want to dissect it. I want to take it all in here because I want to give my initial reactions when you have somebody too high or too low.
Well, this is probably going to be one that you think I have too high.
Okay.
The Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
I don't think that's bad.
Yeah, Tank doesn't like Tank, unlike me, I am much slottier than Tank is.
Yeah.
He's not a very slotty guy. So he looks at a receiving core like Washington, and he gets it doesn't do much for him. Because he needs that big feller like Mike Evans that can go. Terry McLaurin's really, really good at football.
And I have no problems with Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin is a solid one.
Curtis Samuel is a solid two.
Jahan Dotson
might be the best three in the league.
Curtis Samuel is fine at times.
But you got to understand for what he does. And that's what I'm looking at. Logan Thomas, please be healthy for once. Like I need you to not be dead.
Mm-hmm. See, that's where this falls apart for me, is you have nothing at tight end. And because I
mean, in fairness, there's going to be several teams on my list that they don't make you feel warm and fuzzy at tight end.
But see, then your receivers have to be really good.
And I think Washington's are really good.
I haven't seen enough out of Jahan Dotson
he's only a year in the league
to carry this.
Well, he's only a year in the league. It's a little bit of projection. I'm looking at the high side from last year. Now you've had a full off season. You got acclimated last year. I think Terry McLaurin is a legit, no doubt, top 15 receiver in the NFL, and I've thought that for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
If you put him with a more high-level quarterback, you would see that, and yet he still produces that way with Carson Wentz and Taylor Heineken, the not domestic beer. And I'm looking at Sam Howell going, you know what, the way you're going to use Curtis Samuel as a move piece, I feel just fine with Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, they'll be able to score some points. I
like
the quarterback.
And you've still got De'Ami Brown, who I didn't even mention.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a whale of a deep threat, and I've seen it a couple times in his career. That's not a bad four.
Absolutely. No, it's not. 11 or 12 seems a little high to me. But let's see. But let's see.
Is there a team that I've had behind them so far you would have had in front of them?
Oh, the Bucks. Yeah.
I think you undervalue Mike Evans and the big receiver, 30-year-old big receivers. The history of this is not pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Now, even 75% of what he's been is still really good, but then you got to factor in the quarterback too, and he has been, of all the players that I have done fantasy football projections for so far, I think he was the hardest for me to solidify it and go, I'm done. I kept tinkering with it because I would look at the stat lines and just go, that seems like a lot
to
for
me,
a team that I don't think is going to score that much.
To me, it's very close between them and Chicago. Just looking at the teams that we've mentioned so far.
I could have probably lived with Chicago for the upside before I could have with Tampa Bay. Because I am somewhat factoring in your quarterback. There's no way not to.
Have to.
And it's like having a Maserati in the driveway and you don't know how to drive a stick. Well, that's a very expensive lawn ornament you have, Dale.
Right. Number 11 in the top 13 receiving cores for the 2023 NFL season headed your way right after this here in the Sportsocracy. Stick with us.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. In the Waynesville area, US 74 East, the Great Smoky Mountain Expressway between Russ Avenue and Delwood City Road. Traffic is crawling due to an accident. Hendersonville Road moving well. Sweeten Creek Road, no delays. On the Charlotte Highway, no backups. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Verizon. Ready to take control of your phone plan? Well, then you better take that next turn to a Verizon store. Because my plan from Verizon is the kind of control we all deserve. Get exactly what you want. Only pay for what you need. Get my plan at your Verizon store today.
I'm Israel Gutierrez. I'm hosting a new podcast called 4 Years of Heat. It takes you to Miami from 2010 to 2014, when LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade set the NBA ablaze.
You know, have an opportunity to team up with the best trio to ever play the game of basketball.
We'll take you inside those 4 monumental years with behind-the-scenes access and insight about one of the greatest teams ever assembled. 4 Years of Heat on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Fellas, stop treating your groin like junk. Introducing the Gillette Intimate Pubic Hair Trimmer, a gentle and easy shave from America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand. Respect your pubic region with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Meet Joe A, Joe B, and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Wendy's Strawberry Frosty is back for the summer. Because if it's summertime, it's Frosty time. Beach time? Frosty time. Tea time? Frosty time. Me time? Frosty time. Treat yourself to Wendy's Strawberry Frosty this summer and make time for Frosty time. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's. Now open till midnight or later.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Here's to the dads, the ones who show us what it means to love unconditionally, to laugh uncontrollably, and to live life with dignity. At Ingalls, we know that Dad doesn't always get the most attention. So this Father's Day, join us in giving the dads their due, along with the neckties, golf balls, and funny cards. We love you, dads. every day of the year. Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Top 13 receiving corps in the NFL for 2023 on this Power Rankings Tuesday. And before we continue with the Power Rankings, first, we've got a super chat that we need to get to.
I'm your huckleberry.
Well, you got to turn my mic on for me to read it.
Which is?
I feel bad. It's from Soaring Eagle. He said, I feel bad for the guy who cashed in his parlay. 4-leg with the Astros, Argentina World Cup, Chiefs Super Bowl, Nuggets NBA Finals. Would have been $70,000, and he cashed it out. Somebody on DraftKings had John Rahm to win the Masters, the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, and the Nuggets. On a $1.75 bet, I think he made $672 or something like that.
Nice.
Like that's a Tank Spencer wager right there.
Absolutely.
I really got a heater here. I'm gonna put a toonie on it.
I'm not gonna risk much.
Or is it a loony or a toonie? I keep saying that. I think
no
it's
idea
a
what you're talking about.
It's a $2 coin. I just learned this because Nick Taylor uses it as his ball marker.
Canada has a $2 coin.
Yes, okay. It's called. I think the loony's the $1, the toonie's the $2.
It's a toonie.
Toonie. Okay. Yeah. It's what and.
Tank
would be wagering with those at a casino. I feel good. I'm on a heater. I got $2 on it.
No,
meanwhile, I'd be behind him going, how about you get out of my way before I punch you in the back of the head?
No, I'd dig out my $2 bills for that one.
Oh, God. Yeah. You make my brain hurt.
Wait. Intern Jake, have you ever seen a $2 bill?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to...
Very rarely, but I've seen a couple.
I feel like Thursday when we come back, because we're preempted by the Braves tomorrow, we should play a fun game of, hey, Jake, did you ever know this is a thing? After you didn't know Ryan's Steakhouse, I just went, what? I will show you the world.
All right, so we've gone through the first two in the top 13. Jeremy actually gave us two teams that were close to making the top 13. So essentially 14 and 15. But during the break, intern Jake had a very important question, which I feel you should repeat right now, Jake.
I said, is Baltimore on your list?
No, sir.
Which is dumb.
It's absurd.
Dumb.
No, it's not.
Yeah, you just had the Washington Commanders on that list, but you don't have the Baltimore Ravens.
All right, go item by item. The one of the Commanders is Terry McLaurin. The one for the Ravens is Mark Andrews. Who's a better player? It's Terry McLaurin. It's not all that close.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but Mark Andrews is the second best tight end in the league. I don't disagree with you. That makes him about the 20th best receiver in the league, as he ain't Travis Kelce. So he's just not. Then you get to the two. Would I rather have Odell Beckham Jr. or Jahan Dotson? I'll take Jahan Dotson because I don't trust Odell Beckham Jr. as far as I can throw him.
Mm-hmm.
Rashad Bateman's your 3. I'll take Curtis Samuel over that because, again, I can't trust him as far as I can throw it. Then you both said, but what about Zay Flowers? John Harbaugh notoriously buries rookies. And before you give me Isaiah Likely, why did he play? Because Mark Andrews got hurt. And as soon as Mark Andrews came back in, what happened? Isaiah Likely went poof.
But what about Marquise Brown? When he came in, he was used as the one.
He was, well.
Wasn't he?
Okay. And who was the 2? Willie Snead. A little different scenario there. They invested a first-round pick in Rashad Bateman.
Mm-hmm.
And he was hurt as a rookie. But
mm-hmm.
I don't believe in any one receiver for Baltimore. If you told me Zay Flowers was going to get the run like that, okay, I'll back off that a little bit because then everybody slots down into place. But I'm not sure Zay's ready to be a 1 the minute he steps in this league.
Mm-hmm.
I love the guy, but if I was being honest, Baltimore would probably have been my 16 right behind the Jets. Because I got news for you. You don't have a Garrett Wilson, they do. I'll make an argument. You don't have a DJ Moore. The Chicago Bears do.
Uh-huh. Except for Mark Andrews.
Who's not better than either of the players I just said. One of them's the reigning rookie of the year. One of them's had, 3,000-yard years in a row? Mark Andrews has been hurt 2 years in a row. I love him. And it makes it sound like I'm really throwing shade.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. You're overvaluing that tight end thing. Travis Kelce, healthy George Kittle, those really move a needle. Mark moves a needle, not to the same level. And the fact that you raised your eyes at me of Garrett Wilson or DJ Moore you'd rather have than Mark Andrews, You didn't say it, so I can't say it's the stupidest thing you've ever said. The fact you made that face hurt my brain.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever inferred.
That hurt my brain real bad.
Yeah, no, I'm completely out on that. And the chat seems to be as flabbergasted as I am that the Baltimore Ravens did not make your top 13.
Because what receiver am I supposed to trust? 2 of them live hurt. Odell has never been a one, ever, outside of the New York years. And Chauncey Major said, are we being punked? No, I think you are, if I'm being really honest. If you're trying to argue with me that any team I've said, they're what, Commanders, you don't like it, you don't like their quarterback, okay. You got a mediocre receiver court. You got a great tight end. Woo. You got a second really good tight end. Woo. If you think you're about to become some pass-happy offense, I got a bridge to sell you. Todd Monken can say whatever he wants to. I ain't buying it. Now, if that makes me look stupid down the line, it makes me look stupid. I also look at your schedule and go, I don't love that.
All right, I can't wait to see who else he has ranked ahead of the Baltimore Ravens here. Let's go to number 11 in the top 13 receiving cores on this Power Rankings Tuesday.
Go Chargers, go!
This seems low to me.
Yeah.
Well, your tight end's Gerald Everett, who I don't buy into that much. I love Josh Palmer, but he's your 3. Mike Williams has always made me nervous, and that older version of Keenan Allen's getting a little more rickety as time goes on. Still good. And deep, because you got more guys in there. But, I mean, when you get to the list of – you keep saying low, and I'm looking at the names on this list going, I don't think that the owner of the Chargers could tell me what I just said is better than the vast majority of what I'm looking at.
Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston. That's pretty damn good threesome to throw out there.
And I don't dispute that. I don't in any way. Quentin Johnston's a rookie, and I think you're all getting trolled by rookies. All right, I'm going to go off on a little tangent here because this is – I know what you're doing. You're trying to need me so that I will do the over-the-top thing. We have been completely snowed by rookie receivers. But Chris Olave was great. Garrett Wilson was great. There ain't not nary a one of those in this class. I like Quentin Johnston. I love Zay Flowers. I hate where he landed for this year. Long term, it's fine. There's a reason every one of these guys lasted till the 20s. Not a very good draft class. We talked about this time and time and time and time and time and time and time again. Every scout I know was looking at the masses going, you're falling for a bill of goods on these rookies. They'll all be fine. There ain't a 1,000-yard receiver in the bunch. I'll just go ahead and tell you. The rookie of the year this year, if Bijan Robinson got abducted by space aliens, is another running back. It is not one of these receivers. So maybe I'm a little skewed because I spend 5 months digging into these guys, and none of these rookies move the needle for
Look,
me.
I don't have to have you have a Jamar Chase or a Justin Jefferson type rookie season. All I need you to do
take
like
how you feel about
Chargers.
Josh Palmer. All right, the Chargers with Josh Palmer is the 3. Do you feel like I'm roughly in the right ballpark there?
At 11?
Yes.
No, I still feel like you're too low.
I would love to just say the teams because I can't for the life of me figure out.
We'll get to them.
Yeah, because currently they view Quentin Johnston behind Josh Palmer. So that should tell you how the team feels about it, not just how I feel about it.
And that's not surprising. I'm not saying he's going to come. Like I said,
I know the team you're going to gristle at, and
like
it's
I said,
the one coming next.
I don't need the superstar rookie season. I need you to be good. I need you to be serviceable.
And so you're telling me there's absolutely no possibility that Mike Williams and Keenan Allen both get hurt because they have 143 times.
They absolutely might.
Okay, because I built that risk in here. If you're telling me I have to spend a lot of games with Josh Palmer and Quentin Johnston as my 1 and 2, we shouldn't even be talking about this team.
Well, obviously,
and I like them. I'm not trying to throw
scenario.
shade. Somehow being on this list, I'm throwing shade. What do you see what the top of this list is?
Okay. Give us number 10.
The Buffalo Bills. Yeah, Stephon Diggs and Gabriel Davis are 10. And that's a team that I absolutely love. I don't love their coach, but I love them. Dalton Schultz is going to be the slot guy. I am notoriously nervous about rookie tight ends, but everything I keep hearing is they're going to play him as a slot receiver.
Dalton Kincaid, not Dalton
What'd I say?
Schultz. We talked about his team last time.
His team is at 37. There's 32 NFL teams, and Dalton Schultz is on the team that would be 37th on this list. I would take the Florida State Seminoles over them. I really like Buffalo. The Stephon Diggs thing pushed them down 2 spots today. I'm just going to be completely honest. We came up with this idea before that news came out.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I thought about it, the more I went, if Stephon's even 80% of what I've seen him be, let's say he misses the offseason program, it becomes a thing. And now you start looking at it going, Gabriel Davis, Dalton Kincaid.
This is gross.
Dawson Knox.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Stephon Diggs, you feel really good about all of that.
Sure.
But I did push them down 2 spots today. You think that's too high, don't you?
The Stephon Diggs thing is anything to worry about?
The agent's response tells me it is. That was a great big, hey, let me holler at you for a minute. Because I'm not real happy. And where do you think that came from? And it was at the behest of Stephon Diggs.
Yep.
You made me look like a clown, and now I'm going to do the same thing to you.
Okay. All right. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville top 13 receiver cores for 2023. We will pick it up after the break with number 9 on the list. Also, it's time to get weird.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
With a clear sky and light winds tonight, the low should eventually cool down to 51. And then after some early sunshine Wednesday, there may be an isolated shower thunderstorm during the afternoon as winds pick up out of the west and the high hits 81. Still a slight chance for a shower thunderstorm on Wednesday night with a low of 57. On Thursday, it will be a little bit wetter with scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms at a high close to 81. Then a dry Friday with sunshine and a high reaching 84 degrees. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slows west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slows between Brevard Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Again, 26 eastbound stop and go between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Verizon. Ready to take control of your phone plan? Well, then you better take that next turn to a Verizon store. Because my plan from Verizon is the kind of control we all deserve. Get exactly what you want. Only pay for what you need. Get my plan at your Verizon store today.
Why do you change your car's air filter? Because when it's clogged, it doesn't work. The same is true of your nose, the body's air filter. It's great at trapping allergens, dust, and viruses, but unless you clean it regularly, they can stay trapped, making you miserable. I'm Martin Hogue, inventor of Navage, the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, helping to flush out allergens, mucus, and germs. Here's a testimonial from a verified purchaser and a big Navage fan. Quote, I've been suffering for 30 years with chronic sinus infections and allergies. I stumbled across Navage. The suction is amazing. It cleared my sinus cavities better than anything I've tried before. Unquote. Navage has over 120,000 reviews with a 4.6-star average written by people who use Navage to breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Wash your body's air filter with Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
At Ingles Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, And there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Back at the Sportsocracy live in the Ingalls studio, and Jeremy, the worst possible thing that can happen at a wake.
A wake like funeral wake?
Yeah.
Lost the body.
That's good. That would be very high on the list. But I think even worse than that.
Trying to bury a not dead person.
Bingo. This comes to us from Ecuador, Quito, Ecuador, where a 76-year-old woman was declared dead at a hospital in Ecuador, and then during the wake, she let everybody know, I'm not dead, by knocking on the casket.
I would Deion Sanders high step out of that building.
I would Terry Tate linebacker that damn thing.
I'm not going to hit it. I'm afraid there's a heathen monster in there. There's a ghost. No.
There will be no raising for the dead today, Grandma.
I will fight practically any living person. I am not fighting some supernatural spirit that's coming out of that coffin.
I mean, I guess on some level there's got to be like that, oh, thank God she's not dead. But I mean, we all got dressed up. I mean,
at Sportsocracy, Tate just chooses violence every day now. We all got dressed up.
We've already been through the emotional split here. The second, I mean, it's like ruining the good surprise. You don't ruin the good surprise. Remember the movie Big Daddy? You've seen it. Come on, Adam Sandler.
I'm more locked into the we got all dressed up.
We did. You mean I got to wear this again next week? Come on.
You know, there are not many rooms where I am the nicer of the two. I am starting to think our trajectories have crossed. Yikes.
76-year-old woman who was pronounced dead. And then they went through the funeral arrangements and everything. Had her in the casket, and during the wake, she knocks on the door to let them know that she's not dead. Now, obviously, everybody is in a commotion after this. Here's the thing. It wasn't like, knock, knock, hey, I'm alive again, and this is going to be a good time. She was barely alive. She had been on life support. Anyway. Yeah, she had been on life support for a while. And this is, if you've ever had to watch an elderly person pass away, which sadly I have, and it's very, very rough, because there are some points in a person's sickness where you're not really sure. You don't know, like, are they still breathing? Are they not still breathing? But I feel like a doctor should be able to know that.
We do these stories all the time.
Full investigation has been launched, and so now the doctors, and I hope they're new doctors, because I don't trust anything you say anymore, have told them that, yes, she's alive for now, but it's not going to be long.
How old did you say that woman was?
76 years old.
Odd. That's the same age as Pat Sajak, host of The Wheel of Fortune.
Is he only 76?
He is 76 years old. His face is 17. So you do with that what you want to. He has announced, well, the time has come. I've decided that our 41st season, which begins in September, will be my last. Been doing the Wheel of Fortune since 1983. Now, when was the last time you watched Wheel of Fortune? The last time you sat down and watched even a puzzle of Wheel of Fortune?
Oh, it's been years.
I'm right there with you. It's just, okay, I got it. All right, you spin a wheel, there's bankrupt, you get it.
The only reason to watch that show is to make fun of the stupid people.
Oh, yeah. Celebrities. Celebrities doing this are, oh, man, like there's one letter left, and you got that wrong. Man, you should be glad you're pretty. Now, what this did is it really made us put a magnifying glass on Pat Sajak.
Mm-hmm.
How much money do you think he makes a year?
In a year?
In a year. Doing a show where the average fan of the show is older than Pat Sajak is.
I'm going to go with $5 million.
Triple it.
15?
$15 million. Wow. I'm not done yet. How many days a year does he work?
38.
You're too high.
Oh.
They film this show. They record 12 shows in a 2-day span every other week. So he works every other Thursday and Friday, taping 6 episodes per day, 12 shows in a 2-day span. They also only tape 9 months out of the year. Now, I don't know how good your mathing is, but I mathed it. That means Pat Sajak makes $416,000 a day. Do you know how many Botox injections you could get for $416,000 a day? And he's walking away from it. I would do this until 15 minutes before you put me in the box.
You don't want to do that.
What?
You don't want to do that. I can't begin to spend all the money that I have.
I'm sure they'll try. So you mean I don't want to stand here with a microphone in my hand and go, Dale, would you like to solve the puzzle? Sleeping with the Nimini. No.
I love that guy. I love how you just went cross-eyed there for a second. Like, what was that?
That's not, it's enemy, stupid. Oh, crap. Now I ruined the puzzle. Sorry. Is my check still clear? I'm going to keep doing this. Frankly, until the end of time. The rumored potential replacements, Vanna White.
Boo.
Vanna White is still gorgeous, and I think she's 15 minutes younger than Pat Sajak. She's old enough to be my great-grandmother, and she's still just fine.
Right. I think she won, like, Miss South Carolina before I was born.
And you know what's funny? She looks younger than you. I don't know how that's possible, but she do.
Medical advancements.
If she hadn't had as much work done as Pat. Frankly, Pat gets a tune-up more often than NASCAR does. Coming in for a pit stop. That's in the commercial break. Either who. The other two potential replacements are Pat's daughter, who is apparently a country singer. I did not know that. And Ryan Seacrest. Because, of course. Because Ryan Seacrest has to host everything now, right? Are we not done with that guy?
No.
But for why?
I don't know.
Why does he host everything? You know what? Let me host something. Mullet's Wheel of Fortune. It'll be West Virginia turn the phrase. More than one way to skin a cat, Jeremy. That's right. Hey! You win $47, which to you is a mess of money.
Good Lord. Yeah, no, so she was Miss Georgia USA in 1978.
Zach, this is the time that I feel like I have to be the truthful friend here. You should wish you looked that good.
Oh, 100%.
And I'm not even talking attractiveness.
100%.
I'm talking age. If we went man on the street, people that don't know who Vanna White is, people that don't know who Tate Spencer is, which one of these two is older, they would look at you and go, I think that guy's her dad. And it hurts.
Again, plastic surgery is a hell of a thing.
Well, here's the thing.
You're
not wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. No, that's a bad choice. Next, who else?
Those were the only 3 names mentioned. It should be Vanna White, no doubt.
Who was it after Vanna?
Pat's daughter.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not seeing her first name. Her last name is Sajak.
It doesn't matter. She doesn't get the job.
These are the 3. I'm not going to say finalists, but these are the only 3 names that have been attached.
Okay, who was the third one?
Ryan Seacrest.
Oh yeah, Ryan Seacrest.
Because he needs more money.
I mean, that's going to be the one. Because of course it is.
I want to host a game show.
I don't know that you do.
Feel like that's a thing we could probably make happen.
Why not? Jake's been a talk show host. I mean, a game show host. I mean, you did Finals Feud yesterday, and I thought you did swimmingly.
Yes, did I?
So
I appreciate that, fellas.
So I mean, he's the next Richard Dawson over here.
It's just don't kiss people that often. You know, COVID.
Yeah. Because that's how you get COVID.
It's not even a thing anymore, and I felt the urge to say it.
All right, let's get back into the Power Rankings Tuesday here. Top 13 receiving cores in the NFL. Number 9.
The Cleveland Browns.
This is a good one. I like this one. Amari
they're
Cooper.
really, 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 really good.
Elijah Moore.
And I feel like people are taking shade of, if you're in the top 16, you're pretty good. Yeah, your receiving core is pretty good. I'm high on the Jets and the Bears. They didn't make this list. They should tell you everything you need to know. Now, the Elijah Moore addition, trust me, that's going to work. It's going to work. It's going to make the Jets look foolish. I've already seen the reels. I've already seen your tic-tacs. I got it, okay? We got a housed. I don't love
And then, of course, don't forget DPJ.
Oh, God.
And David Njoku. You got to throw those guys in there as well.
David Njoku should have been he should have been the third person you said there.
Well, of course he should have been. You have Josh Palmer. I can have DPJ. We can both be fans of irrelevant wide receivers in the NFL. It's okay.
I mean, it is a thing we do around here.
To me, with Cleveland, it all comes back to Deshaun. And to me, that's still an unknown. Is he going to reclaim it?
And see, to me, it's not as much of an unknown. I feel like now with an actual offseason, you're going to see more of what it was in the past.
Number 8.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
You might wrinkle it. Some might rankle at that, but you really
I don't
can't.
know how.
You got Calvin Ridley being added to this receiving core with Zay Jones and Christian Kirk, who was one of the best receivers in the NFL last year.
And Evan Ingram.
And Evan Ingram at tight end.
That's rather formidable.
It is, considering you have Trevor Lawrence back there throwing to him, and Doug Peterson, an offensive coach. I like the way this stacks up. So, all right, number 8 is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I feel really good about that team. The addition of Calvin Ridley, which to me pushes down Christian Kirk by mid-year. I can't tell he's going to come in that way. Christian Kirk might be the one off the jump. But once you get Calvin Ridley acclimated, I think people are forgetting how good Calvin Ridley was. There was a time we were talking about him as a top 8 receiver in the NFL. And then, well, learned the hard way. Don't try to parlay, dog.
Well, he had
parlay cards are always bad.
And I can understand people's apprehension about Calvin Ridley. I mean, he did have the mental health year before all of this with the suspension last year. And so the talent is there, no doubt. But is he going to play? Is he going to be available? Is this going to be another wishy-washy thing? He may be here, he may not. We just have to wait.
Are you talking about Calvin Ridley?
Yes.
I think after the gambling suspension, I think it's funny that we don't realize those two things were attached. I mean, you remember me saying that, right? That they kept saying that Calvin Ridley was missing time for mental health and all. I mean, you do understand that mental health thing was the gambling suspension, right?
Was it?
I mean, I do live by a very simple creed of when you hear hoofbeats, it makes a lot more sense to assume horses than zebras.
I thought he broke the rule during the absence.
Well, all right, so I'm not reporting this. This is what I have been told, is that he went down a bit of a rabbit hole, as you do, and he had been wagering on things, and then he got popped for doing it in the NFL. That is what I've been told. I cannot confirm that.
Okay. So the theory is that he did it early in the absence, and they kept him off the field because of it.
Well, I think he stepped away because he was unhappy in Atlanta, and then you had a little extra time on your hands. You did a thing, and then it was, well, I mean, we're stuck now. I mean, because they caught him in no time. This is I don't understand why it's so hard for people to understand that with apps, legally, your identity has to be attached to that app. I'm doing it with my sister's account. You don't think they know who those people are? Really? This is Las Vegas. We know everything. So I've been told by people in the league that there is more, that the mental health thing had more to do with the gambling than people are letting on. That's probably the safer way for me to say that, because I'm not trying to report something. That is just, it's out there.
Number 7. Coming up next here in the Sportsocracy, we're ranking the top 13 receiving cores for the 2023 NFL season here in the Sportsocracy on a Power Rankings Tuesday.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slows east of Brevard Road continuing to Airport Road. In the Fairview area, Charlotte Highway near Cane Creek Road, expect congestion. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. I'm Lehman Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Verizon. Ready to take control of your phone plan? Well, then you better take that next turn to a Verizon store. Because my plan from Verizon is the kind of control we all deserve. Get exactly what you want. Only pay for what you need. Get my plan at your Verizon store today.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions.
Even easier than choosing Slash to be in your band.
Next up for lead guitar. You're in.
Cool.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Isn't it nice to get exactly what you want? Introducing the new My Plan from Verizon. With My Plan, you pick only the perks you want and you save on every one. So you're getting exactly what you want in your phone plan and only paying for what you need. All on Verizon's award-winning 5G network. And for a limited time, when you bring your own phones to a Verizon store, you can get My Plan for an incredible price. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today and get My Plan for an amazing deal. It's your Verizon.
I'm Israel Gutierrez. I'm hosting a new podcast called 4 Years of Heat. It takes you to Miami from 2010 to 2014, when LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade set the NBA ablaze.
You know, have an opportunity to team up with the best trio to ever play the game of basketball.
We'll take you inside those 4 monumental years with behind-the-scenes access and insight about one of the greatest teams ever assembled. 4 Years of Heat on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Ingalls, we know that Dad doesn't always get the most attention. So this Father's Day, join us in giving the dads their due, along with the neckties, golf balls, and funny cards. We love you, dads, every day of the year.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace. We are back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. It is a Power Rankings Tuesday.
It's also day 2 of air conditioner watch.
It is very sweltering.
When I have to step outside in June for it to be to cool off, that's a bad sign, boys and girls.
That it is.
A mullet does not keep at this particular temperature.
It gets frizzier by the hour.
Oh, that's because it's catching this underlying layer of sweat.
We are power ranking the top 13 receiving corps in the NFL for 2023. We got 2 more to go here, and then we'll give you the top 5 at the first break, or the first segment of the next hour after the Sports Center update. Let's go number 7.
I feel like you're going to gristle at this.
Okay.
The Miami Dolphins.
Why would
Say it.
Why would I?
That feels low. Does that have Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill? Yeah.
And then what?
And then where do we go then? Yes, I will agree. You have 2 of the top 15 receivers in the NFL, and then, it gets super bleak in a hurry. I thought about having them lower than this, if I was being honest.
I don't know how you could have them lower than this.
Because what if something happened to one of those 2 guys?
I mean,
because then you're not even in the top 20. You go down to one of these guys, Cedric Wilson's the 3.
Mm-hmm.
But what about Robbie Chosen? I'm not doing that. Robbie Anderson.
Old Chosen Anderson.
Robbie. Seeing that on the depth chart makes my head hurt. And Braxton Berrios. Oh, so let me get this straight. Your depth is retreads from the New York Jets.
Mm-hmm.
And not like the good Jets now. Like the Adam Gase Jets. When they couldn't score. I can't end that appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
You know where I was headed.
I still can't believe this team hasn't figured out a way to get a tight end, which kind of baffles me. Plays into the more the like I said, the graphic that showed that Dawson Knox was the best in the AFC East. Well,
he's certainly better than Durham Smythe.
Exactly.
Actually, it's not even Durham. It's Durham Smythe. That's how you spelled it. You want me to say it a different way? Spell it a different way. I'm very high on Tyreek Hill. I'm very high on Jalen Waddle. I also have to take into account Tua Tagovailoa. Did you happen to see where Chris Sims had him on his power ranking of NFL quarterbacks?
Was it too high? Or
No.
too low?
It certainly wasn't too high. Let's play Guess the Number.
16.
Too high.
12.
You went the wrong way.
You went the wrong way. 19.
Too high.
23.
23. Because Chris Sims likes to make people talk about him when he says dumb things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Jets fan, and I read that and laughed out loud. But I do understand the injury potential.
Mm-hmm.
And then you wind up with Mike White or Skylar Thompson. Oh, boy. There's just a lot. Things have to go right. They have to go right for Miami because you have two guys that are special.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Obvious is saying I'm too low. Robbie Anderson means nothing to me. I've already ridden this ride. He can only play on the outside. His effort level is somewhere between I absolutely hate being here and day 22 of Survivor. That's what you're getting out of Robbie Anderson.
Right.
So, I mean, trust me. Just remember, I'm well connected to the Jets. I've heard a lot of stories about that kid. He's got the talent. But you have to ask, when all these teams have given up on him, what does that tell you?
Yep.
He went to Arizona last year. They desperately needed a receiver. Didn't even sniff the field.
All right, number 6.
You might think this is low. The Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
I love what Dallas has done.
I think this is fair.
I love Brandon Cooks. CeeDee Lamb to me is a top 5 receiver in this league.
Oh,
and I don't even think we're at a spicy point anymore. And then you just look at the accumulation of everything else. They have a lot of other, well, he's good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Michael Gallup, he's good. I like Michael Gallup. They seem to be really fond of this tight end group because every time they speak, they talk about Jake Ferguson and Luke Schoonamaker. And then you've got a slew of other guys that one of them's going to hit. I just don't know who it is.
Mm-hmm.
Was Jalen Tolbert, Simi Fehoko, that we talk about, I think, every year in the preseason. Ontario Drummond, who I liked in the draft. I mean, that's your 4. That's a formidable top 3. And am I giving a little – I'm giving a little credence to the fact you're talking up your tight ends so much because either you're right or you're going to look really stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't love the tight ends.
My only problem with the Dallas Cowboys and their wide receiver core is that now Mike McCarthy's calling the plays and he wants to run the damn ball. And that won't help any of them. You're in the Sportsocracy. The top 5 is up after the Sports Center update. Stay with us.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
With a clear sky and light winds tonight, the low should eventually cool down to 51. And then after some early sunshine Wednesday, there may be an isolated shower thunderstorm during the afternoon as winds pick up out of the west and the high hits 81. Still a slight chance for a shower thunderstorm on Wednesday night with a low of 57. On Thursday, it will be a little bit wetter with scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms at a high close to 81. Then a dry Friday with sunshine and a high reaching 84 degrees. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slows east of Brevard Road continuing to Airport Road. In the Fairview area, Charlotte Highway near Cane Creek Road, expect congestion. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Raid Light Trap.
The new Raid Essentials Light Trap uses light to attract, then trap flying insects like fruit flies and mosquitoes, turning your home into restricted airspace. For insecticide-free protection that's people and pet-friendly, get new Raid Essentials Light Trap.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Not clear right now what's going on with Stephon Diggs and the Bills. Coach Sean McDermott today said their number one receiver was not at the team's mandatory minicamp practice. He called the absence very concerning. The Bills, though, did confirm Diggs was at their facility yesterday and this morning, then left before today's practice. The Panthers won't be announcing whether injured star Matthew Tkachuk will play in a must-win Game 5 Stanley Cup final until puck drop tonight against Vegas. The Rangers hired Peter Laviolette as their new coach. The Heat, coming off disappointment in the NBA Finals, facing some big questions this offseason, including what assets it would be willing to put in a trade to acquire another star to pair with Jimmy Butler. ESPN NBA insider Brian Windhorst.
They obviously have a need at the offensive end of the court, and they're in position to make a deal. They have Tyler Hero coming on to his big new contract. He is a player who has some value in the league. Duncan Robinson totally rebuilt his value throughout this great postseason run. And they have the 18th pick in this draft.
Caesars listing the Heat at 18-1 odds currently to win next season's NBA championship.
Coming up Wednesday, could Anthony Richardson not only be the best quarterback of his draft class, but one of the best quarterbacks over the next 3 years in the NFL? I'll give you my answer on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU.
Now, your chance at a trip to our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Text the nationwide keyword Vegas to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's Vegas to 200-200.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a belly pirate hooker.
He's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
Somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Green. Hank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingalls Supermarkets.
It is the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. You can take us with you where you go with the iHeartRadio app, and you can actually see us. Not that our faces are worth seeing all that much, but
one of us more than the other. One of us
it's
looks
a lot
like
closer
Vanna
than you want it to be.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, you can see us on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click that live video link. Subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. We're doing Power Ranking Tuesday. Top 13 wide receiver or receiving cores in the NFL.
Just responding to a couple in the chat, Andreas Pinckney said, I had the Bears higher than the Saints. I don't know what to do with Michael Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Thomas changes everything. I also subconsciously don't know what to do with Alvin Kamara because I don't know what the suspension is going to look like.
But he doesn't factor.
He doesn't factor into this, but he is a huge part of their passing game. I couldn't factor him in for the ranking, but I could have it at the back of my head going, everybody's being pushed up 2 spots, and I don't like it.
You got one guy. You got
Chris Olave that I know definitively and trust in. I like Rashid Shaheed. And Juwan Thompson, I want to believe in him so badly, and I love A.T. Perry. I really do. But they would have been tied with Baltimore at 16. Now, Michael Thomas comes back. They're probably right there with the Chargers and the Bills.
Okay.
I've been bitten by Michael Thomas every single year for the last seemingly half a decade.
Right.
Until I physically see him in a uniform, wearing shoes, running routes at full speed, I ain't buying it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been sold this bill of goods. I am not doing it again. Notorious B.I.G. said, I hate the Saints. I don't hate the Saints in any way. I picked you to win the division. What do you want me to do? Pick you to win the Super Bowl? I don't hate the Saints. I've also been burned by them a bunch of times.
If you feel that solidly about Michael Thomas, then you are one of one.
Well, I mean,
in my opinion,
right,
because I don't even think there's people in that front office that believe in Michael Thomas like some Saints fans
Michael
do.
Thomas has literally probably cost me more money than the Denver Nuggets just won me. So is it a little bit of gunshot? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I just there are certain players that go on that never again list. Michael Thomas, it is now called the Michael Thomas list of I ain't believing it till I see it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a shot at New Orleans.
Yep.
It's just I want to see you running.
Okay, so top 5 here. Number 5 is who?
The San Francisco 49ers.
Okay. San Francisco, you got obviously Kittle. You've got you got Deebo Samuel. You got Brandon Ayuk. That's a hell of a threesome to have.
But you're laughing. Are they too high or are they too low?
I don't know. I mean, it seems about right. I really don't know. Like, I'm trying to run through my mind. Would I have them over the Cowboys? No. Would I have them over the Dolphins? Yes. And I said no before. I meant to say yes. I'd have them over the Cowboys. Jaguars, that's closer to me.
I get it.
And I don't know. I don't know that you aired having the Jaguars behind the Dolphins and the Cowboys. I get the top side for those teams is really good, but when you consider the depth and the tight end with the wide receivers, Jacksonville has more of that. Okay. San Francisco. They no doubt belong on the list. We can argue about where.
Okay, I'm catching a lot of flack from the Saints fans. Yes, I understand Deebo Samuel has had some injury problems. I also understand when he's on the field, he's a top 8 receiver in this league, and he is a dynamic weapon. George Kittle's also the second best tight end in the league. I am super high on Brandon Ayuk.
Mm-hmm.
Probably more so than anybody in this industry.
But then you got to go to quarterback.
The quarterback,
you factor that
the quarterback hurts you.
You take a hit.
You also got to remember how San Francisco plays. They play a lot more 12 personnel than you think. So you got – and I guess this is what you call it, three-dimensional chess.
Mm-hmm.
Who's more likely to play 4 wide, San Francisco or New Orleans? It's New Orleans. It ain't close.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at San Francisco going, if you're fully healthy, you might be higher than this because you play a lot of Kittle with a blocking tight end, Kyle Juszczyk, who I couldn't factor into this in spite of the fact that I kind of wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And then your 2 receivers. That is you can disagree with me all you want to. I'm just telling you what my thought process was.
Right.
And yes, Deebo has injury problems, but I love Deebo.
Yeah.
I can't quit Deebo. Been over this for years.
This is one that I will say I feel comfortable saying this is a little high, but not overly.
I just can't agree with you. I think this team, weapon-wise, is really, really good. There's also I'll say I got a gut feeling. Just I feel it in my gut that Danny Gray is going to be the 3.
Mm.
And I was high on him the previous year in the draft.
You were.
And I'm seeing him as a legit over-the-top deep threat.
Okay. If you could factor in the running backs, if you could factor CMC into this, I would agree with this top 5 ranking. But I think just based on the receiving core, to me, I think the Jaguars is better. I think the Browns might be better.
And maybe I did. And Notorious B.I.G.'s got a point. You're better at quarterback in New Orleans. I get that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're also this close to playing Taysom Hill at tight end again.
Mm-hmm.
So, and part of that has worked. I get it.
I hear no lies. Number 4.
This is one that I feel like I feel like somebody's going to grizzle at this, and I don't know why. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm there. I'm not top 4 on the Pittsburgh
Is
Steelers.
Deontay Johnson a legitimate 1?
Yeah.
Is George Pickens a legitimate 2?
Yeah.
Is Allen Robinson the best third receiver I've ever seen in the NFL? Oh, he was hurt last year. Yeah, he hadn't been for several years.
Yeah.
And he was playing on a team that was absolute dog water. Oh, he didn't fit in L.A. Hate to break this to you, neither did anybody not named Cooper Kupp. I think Pittsburgh got the steal of the century
and see,
with Allen Robinson for a bag of footballs.
But that's all he was worth.
I don't disagree.
That was all he was worth after the season that he had in L.A. Like,
but you're taking
he's gone.
People are taking way too much stock into that 1 year in L.A. There's a reason the L.A. Rams basically put all their chips on the table free agency in Allen Robinson. Look at what he did in the previous years and tell me that's not the best third receiver you've ever seen. Oh, by the way, they also have Calvin Austin that they drafted a couple years ago. That's their 4. Fun little shifty guy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think this was spicy in the least.
It's 100% spicy because they might be in the top 10 for me, but
who do you have ahead of them? Okay,
the 49ers, the Cowboys, the Dolphins, the Jaguars, the Browns.
The Dolphins is insane to me.
Really?
That's absolutely ludicrous to me. Deontay Johnson, all right, let's just so you get Tyreek Hill.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll Deontay Johnson or George Pickens, whichever one you think is the 2, is much closer to Jalen Waddle than you want to let on. I'm not saying it's close. They're within 10 to 12 spots. I get Aaron, or I keep wanting to call him Aaron Robinson for some reason. I get Allen Robinson, you're throwing Cedric Wilson at me. I get Pat Freiermuth, and you're throwing me Durham Smythe. Are you on drugs? Like, that's not even close. That one for me wasn't even hard.
Yeah.
You got 2 weapons.
Okay, that's
I got
one.
4.
Okay, that's one.
Okay, San Francisco 49ers. Your tight end is better than mine.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue both of your receivers are slightly ahead of who I slot in there, and then you go Danny Gray and I go Allen Robinson in the message, repeat the line.
Mm-hmm.
You beat me fractionally in the first 3, and then I absolutely smoke you like a deli meat in the
Trying
fourth
to tell me, though, that Allen Robinson couldn't have a good year with Matt Stafford, but he's going to have one with Kenny Pickett?
I'm telling you, Allen Robinson didn't fit in on a bad team and then wanted out of there immediately. I'm also telling you he was a 1,000-yard receiver 2 years in a row directly before that.
Mm-hmm.
And now all of a sudden he's some bum that should be working at the Home Depot. I didn't really see this coming. I saw it as I was doing my research for this of, man, I feel like a lot of people are really underselling this. I don't get it. And to me, it's absolute insanity. And I even factored the Kenny Pickett thing into it. I could make the argument your top 4 pass catchers are better than anybody in the league.
Mm-hmm.
If I take quarterback out of it, I could have had him at 1, and it wouldn't have hurt my feelings in the least. There's one that I would probably still have had ahead of him, but in terms of 1 to 4, nobody has a better 4 in the league, period. And I dare you to tell me the team that
Then
does.
Calvin Austin?
No, 4 tight end, 3 wide receivers. All right, my 4 is Allen Robinson. I swear to God I'm going to stop calling him Aaron before this all's said and done. Name me a team whose 4th pass catcher is better than that. I'll wait. You tell me any team in the league. Oh, yeah, there ain't one. Did the legwork on this. There ain't one. And there ain't one really. It's all that close.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you don't have the highest of the high, but I would say your average is really, really good.
So the average is good. Okay. Whatever.
Well, I mean, you're just dismissing Allen Robinson, which to me is completely
100%.
stupid.
It's not stupid.
He hadn't had a quarterback in 2 years. By the way, you said he didn't have a good year with Matthew Stafford. Half the games he played were with John Wolford. So, sorry. Yeah, it didn't go particularly well. He played 10 games the entire year. Mm-hmm. The offense was awful.
And he was a big piece of that.
He was a part of it. He was a part of it. Oh, Cooper Kupp was fine. Okay, who else was?
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Higbee, down. Allen Robinson, down. Couldn't run a greasy peg up a cat's keister. Oh, but it's Allen Robinson. He's the problem. Okay. Sit back and wait on that. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to take this guy in probably every fantasy draft I do and laugh as I watch these rookie dynamic. Oh, he could. Yeah, he's going to end up being a 4. I'm taking a guy I've seen go 1,000 yards 3 times. Oh, but he's old. Is he, though? I don't think he's that old.
Was he 30?
He's 30.
Yeah.
29, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
29, getting ready to turn 30. We'll see. Number 3.
Eating sleep football. I'm just glad to hear somebody say that about not me. Tank hates the Steelers. That one I'll agree to. He does. Don't know why, but he does.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay. We got a good one.
Yeah.
We're in lockstep here.
Dog. Devontae Smith, dog. Dallas Goedert, dog. You fall behind the 2 that are left. You fall just behind them. because their third receiver is better than you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, tight end, I am not as dead sold on Dallas Goedert as everybody else is. I think he's good, not great.
Okay.
He falls into, to me, he's the head of that. They're really good tight ends. They're just not elite.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, the discrepancy between him and the other two is not enough to make up for Quez Watkins compared to, I can't stop. Like, the more I look at those two names, I can't stop laughing at who the third receiver is.
All right. Number 2.
The Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, you have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Yeah,
that's all these little combos we've said, theirs is better than yours. Period.
I'm almost shocked they're not your one.
It's tight end. I love Irv Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I do. He's another one. He's on that Michael Thomas list. How many times am I going to let you hurt me before I go, no, not again. I am not falling for this again.
He's the Devontae Parker list. He's the guy that you want to be good, and he's never going to be good until you give up on him. And then he'll be good. That's Irv Smith.
I love Irv. And I think in Cincinnati, he's going to have a resurgence in those, if you've been around with us long enough, you remember my 0 tight end rule. I may be going back to that with 2 late flyers on Irv Smith and another tight end. That you'll have to procure your copy of the Mullet Man and the Canadan Fantasy Draft Kit, which will be on sale in June or July. I can't say word. If it starts with the same letter, there is no telling what's getting ready to come out of my mouth.
All right, and finally, the number 1 receiving core for the 2023 NFL season, according to Flostradamus Jeremy Green.
The Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
Jackson Smith and Jigba's your 3.
Okay.
Come at me.
Well, he's a rookie. You're putting too much stock into all these rookies.
As a 3.
Mm-hmm.
The others that you're telling me are 2s. In one case, a 1. A little bit Mark Andrews. I get it. Your best receiver
but
still a
Quentin
rookie.
Johnston as a 3 wasn't.
Quentin Johnston is a 4. They're listing behind Josh Palmer. That should tell you everything you need to know. Quentin Johnston was a long-term. We can get into the Quentin Johnston thing at another time.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of teams that told me we look at him as he needs 2 years of work before he's a legit starter. There were a lot of teams that were shocked they took him over Jordan Addison. Just suffice to say that.
Okay. Now, we'll talk about him in just a second.
Yeah,
don't get the cart before the horse.
Yeah, and Jackson Smith and Jigba went ahead of all of them.
Uh-huh.
And there's a reason.
So the Seattle Seahawks with DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Noah Fant. That's the best receiving core in the NFL.
It's 3 best receivers. To be honest with you, it's a terrifying set of wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got a bunch of tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
You said Noah Fant. Yeah, they have 4. One of whom they're paying a comical amount of money. Will Dissly, it makes a stupid amount of money.
Mm-hmm. Just because they pay him doesn't mean it was the right decision to make.
And Bill Buttigieg said the Jackson Smith and Jigba that Jeremy hammered on for 8 months, going in the top 10. There's a big old difference between a guy going to be the number 1 receiver on a bad team with a bad quarterback and going to a team that went to the playoffs last year to be your 3. And facts don't care about your feelings. Geno Smith was better than a slew of these quarterbacks last year.
Okay.
And now you have better weapons. You can say it's comical all you want to that I had Seattle at 1. You tell me who you have in front of them.
Bengals.
The Bengals I listened to, I had them at 2.
Mm-hmm.
I had them at 2, and Tyler Boyd is scaring me a little bit.
But for why?
Things I've heard, put it that way. It'll
insider information here. He's got insider information.
Just age, for one, wear and tear, and don't know exactly what that role's going to look like.
Mm-hmm. All right, there you have it. Seattle Seahawks, number 1. Bengals 2, Seattle 3. Steelers 4, and the 49ers 5. That's your top 5 of the 2023.
The 2 that people gristled at there are interesting to me.
They're not
grizzle
to
the
me
Seahawks and the Steelers.
Here's the thing: you got 2 teams that aren't even on this list that I can't figure out how you didn't put them on it.
Okay.
One of them has the best receiver in the league,
and then has nothing else. Because you're talking about the Las Vegas Raiders. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
and then
Jacoby Myers.
Okay.
And you just get drafted the best tight end in the class, and Michael Mayer. And I get it, rookie tight end.
How many times have I said that? And he's going to play inline tight end. Oh, yeah, by the way, your coach is Josh freaking McDaniels. Do you need me to go down moral reasons? Because I will.
Mm-hmm.
It's a team that runs the damn ball more than practically anybody.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you got Devontae Adams, who, oh, by the way, is so angry at your front office right now that he's completely cleared his Instagram twice. Nobody's talking about that because he didn't say anything about it, and then he restored it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, what do you want me to say here? There is a possibility. You got rid of Derek Carr. You may be playing me at quarterback. So, what do you want me to say? I knew somebody was going to gristle at the Raiders. Yeah, you got Devontae Adams. You're trying to trade Hunter Renfrow actively right now.
Mm-hmm.
There is a possibility that Devontae Adams is really going to put your feet to the fire because the Derek Carr thing upset him a lot.
Maybe so.
And so now I've got Jacoby Myers and a rookie tight end and Josh McDaniels. Yeah, there's how I got there. To me, all right, here's the other one.
Mm-hmm. The Minnesota Vikings.
Justin Jefferson, in the message, repeat the line. I got a 5'9" outside receiver and then KJ Osborne. But TJ Hawkinson, yeah, he's very Dallas Goddard-y. Oh, and by the way, I'm trusting Alexander Madison, but the guy that runs the ball. That doesn't factor in. I'm not talking about him as a pass catcher. I'm talking about I'm not scared of him the least. I can run 6-man boxes at Minnesota constantly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to double Justin Jefferson and make you beat me with somebody else. And I don't believe in the – I like Addison. I do. I hate that spot for him. Because all right, ask yourself this. Name me the small outside receiver from any Sean McVay disciple that's ever worked. There's not one. You want me to tell you why? Because that scheme doesn't pander to that. Because one of the things that you ask outside receivers to do is set picks and blocks and things like that for your slot guy. They keep telling me they're not playing him in the slot. So you think KJ Osborne's going to run that Cooper Kupp role? It is completely laughable to me. Minnesota would have been around 20 for me.
Good Lord.
Oh, man.
I don't buy TJ Hawkinson at all. You have always liked him better than me. He has 3 big games a year, and for the rest of the year, he's largely irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever owned him in fantasy football, you know I'm right. He'll win you a week and then lose you 4.
Yep. Wow. We had way more disagreement on this than I thought we were going to.
Well, Minnesota's here's another part of Minnesota that I can't – Gristle at Pittsburgh. Looking at a team that is actively telling you they're tearing it to the studs, and you think that's going to go well this year. Yeah. I could make an argument Minnesota picks in the top 5 next year. And I think it's a pretty good one.
Maybe so. Maybe so. The original person that brought this up during the break was Intern Jake. Intern Jake, where did you have Minnesota on your list?
Oh, my Lord. I had them top 5. I really did.
Because, all right, I got to ask, explain that one to me.
I mean, Justin Jefferson's the top 3.
Justin Jefferson's best receiver in the NFL.
There you go.
You don't have another guy on the team that's in the top 50.
Well, I mean, when you look at Jordan Addison and KJ Osborne, I mean, I don't see them as bad as you're putting them out to be, and especially with TJ Hawkinson as well.
Jordan Addison's a rookie receiver that came from a system that did not teach him how to run a route. But he ran it at Pittsburgh. It wasn't that over the top there. He didn't run a huge route tree at Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
So now this is a kid that's got to come in and learn a completely new position because he played in the slot at USC. He's played on the outside. And I said that in the draft process. It's telling me everything I need to know that they went, Zadarius Smith, Dalvin Cook, everything else that's not nailed to the ground. But KJ Osborne, that's another player that has 1 game a year, and everybody goes, oh, he's great. No, he's largely a bum, if I'm being really honest.
He's serviceable.
He's an NFL slot receiver.
He's serviceable. Jordan Addison is going to be more than serviceable, I think. TJ Hawkinson, to me, is bottom end of the top tier of tight ends in this league. And then Justin Jefferson is in his own stratosphere.
Justin Jefferson's the best receiver in the league. You don't have another top 50 pass catcher in this league. And there ain't one on that team that you could sell me on.
Mm-hmm.
There's not. TJ Hawkinson, big, slow tight end that has largely been good for 4 games a year.
Yep.
That you overpaid for from a team in your division. Should always tell you when a team in your division goes, yep, there you go. We don't care to see him 2 times a year. Should tell you everything you need to know.
Yep.
The 2 teams that I will look at and go, okay, the Raiders and the Saints. The Raiders, I'm leaning a lot on McDaniels, and I am worried about Devontae Adams. If Devontae Adams is good, it's hunky-dunky. You bring back Hunter Renfrow, you deserve to be in the top 13. I'll agree to that. If Michael Thomas comes back for the Saints, you deserve to be in the top 13. Those are 2 huge question marks. Devontae Adams more than people want to make it out to be right now.
You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. When we come back for the break, it'll be time a little early, but it'll be time for the most important message of the day.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound, stop and go between Airport Road and Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound, stop and go between Long Shoals Road and approaching Airport Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, Bavard Road north and southbound delays between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near the North Carolina Arboretum. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. In North Asheville, Merriman Avenue north and southbound near Edgewood Road is slow. In the Fairview area, Charlotte Highway near Cane Creek Road delays. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blue Ridge Health. At Blue Ridge Health, everyone deserves access to top-notch, compassionate health care, no matter their insurance or income status. Keep your family healthy with updated immunizations for COVID-19, flu, chickenpox, and shingles. Health care for all people, including you. Learn more at brchs.com.
It's the Marketer's Report. Today, Capital One's Chief Brand Officer, Mark Mentry, weighs in on building loyalty with customers.
Capital One has really worked to create amazing access moments for our customers. We will do sound check parties that only Capital One cardholders can get access to, and we can't pull that off without iHeart.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Hey neighbor, it's Jake from State Farm. Big news, I'm on Roblox. If you want to hang out, swing by the State Farm neighborhood in iHeartland on Roblox. You can come see me for fun daily quests, snag some swag, or ride our Ferris wheel. And if you go to a concert at State Farm Park, you can rock out with some of music's biggest stars. To get started, head to iHeartRadio.com/Roblox. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Humans can do a lot of amazing things. Fighting bugs?
Ew, a bug, get it!
Isn't one of them. STEM is powered by active ingredients found in plants to fight off bugs safely and effectively when used as directed. STEM, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch. Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
It is the Sportsocracy, and just a hair early today, it is time for the most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes!
Don't do crimes. Jeremy, you love the true crime dramas.
That's a nice way to say I'm obsessed with it, and that's all I watch. But
you love all of the serial killers and whodunits and all of that.
I watched one out of Canada the other day that is the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life. Ken and Barbie killers. I'm just going to tell you, it ain't for the faint of heart. So do not watch that if you're not, warped.
Well, this might be one that you'll be seeing a documentary on at some point in the near future. Do you know the name Curry Richins?
I do not.
All right, so this is a Utah woman who is now on trial under suspicion that she killed her husband. Now, that kind of thing happens all the time, right? spouse goes missing or spouse ends up dead, who's the first one that they always turn to?
Always look to the spouse.
Exactly. Well, that wasn't really how this unfolded. So her husband was found dead in their home in March of 2022 of a fentanyl overdose. Okay, doesn't seem all that suspicious. Well, the wife, she goes on, and remember, this is just over a year ago. The wife goes on like this pity tour, and had she not been, to me, and I'm not a judge, I'm not a jury, I'm not any of these things, but to me, it's obviously clear that she played a role in this guy's death. So that's why I call this a pity tour. She went out to the public and went, woe is me, as the grieving widow. She even wrote a children's book on how to deal with grief. She's had it published. She's trying to capitalize on murdering her own husband because later details come out that she has forged all of his financial documents. And oh, by the way, she's got ties, apparently, through this investigation, to fentanyl purchases leading up to the death of her husband. And now the latest hammer in the nail in the coffin has come for Corey Richens because they went onto her computer and they just went, what she searched on Google.
I love the dramatization of that. That's not how they do that, by the way.
And she, leading up to the death of her husband, searched what is a lethal dose of fentanyl.
As somebody, okay, I'm not going to teach you how to do crimes. Don't search it like verbatim. It blows my mind how often people go, how do I do the crime that is going to kill somebody in my life?
Absolutely.
And then they just, delete my cache. Nobody will ever find that because I live in 1997 and I think Windows 99 is as far as we ever got.
All you got to do is clear the cookies, right? You just clear your cookies then it's over.
Tank, I swear to God, if you ever decide to do crimes, set your computer on fire because you're that guy. You're that guy that would get caught. How to buy drugs. Did I do it good? Drug marketplace. Why does that have a badge on it? I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah, she Googled what is a lethal dose of fentanyl, which still, I mean, I guess if the defense is good, then maybe they can dance around this and go, well, she was concerned about his fentanyl use. However, no one had any clue that this guy was doing anything like this. There was no signs that he was on fentanyl or taking fentanyl recreationally or whatever. This woman, to me, it is clear that she planned out to murder her husband over financial troubles that they were having. She made sure everything was forged into her name and then carried out the crime. There are a lot of ins and outs of this case. This could potentially be a documentary.
Oh, no doubt. That's coming. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. My story is not technically a crime.
Okay.
But it looks like a synthetic crime. And I have to give a Kentucky man named Josh Nally credit.
I'm interested to see what a synthetic crime is.
You're getting ready to find out. He is an actor, but there's a problem with his acting prowess. He don't like to speak on camera.
It's
tough to
bit of a sticky wicket.
It's tough to be an actor when you don't like to speak on camera.
I mean, you're in the wrong century for that. 100 years ago, you'd been right there. 1920s, yeah, let's.
Charlie Chaplin, jingle out.
Exactly.
Sorry. So he went to his Tic Tac, and he decided that he was going to find his next role in CSI. What role could you possibly play on CSI?
Dead body.
He staged himself in various degrees of fictitious dead.
Okay.
For 321 days.
Oh, my God.
Tagging CSI in it every single day. And it worked.
Oh, no.
They just cast him to be a dead body in an upcoming episode of CSI.
Good for him. Persistence works.
Now, this got me thinking, that I'm not really I couldn't be much of an actor because I can only play one role.
Pompous ass.
Fat drunk. You're close.
I like mine better, but okay.
I mean, mine's in the subtitles. Okay. I also could act in a pretentious ass kind of way. So here's what I'm thinking. I should use my tic tac to go to a bar and show that I am a very formidable background drunk and wait for one of these shows that's centered in a bar to go, I want that mulleted guy. And it really doesn't even change the course of my day. I just have to set up a phone when I go to the bar. Like, hey, look, I can do this.
Now, how much of that do you think is because they felt bad for him or he was actually doing a good job as a dead body?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. How do you do a bad job as a dead body? Dave!
Well, I mean,
stop talking, you're dead!
I will say this, okay? I swear to God, I saw one of them move the other day on Law & Order SVU. My wife's been binge watching this show, all 28 seasons of it, or how many of there are. I swear to God, I saw one move the other day, and I went, see, this is how much this show sucks, honey. You should not watch this anymore.
Why are you paying that much attention to the dead body? Hey, Bill moved. Bill's supposed to be dead.
Sorry. I mean, there's only so many times I can go through the same storyline of the same episode without looking for differences.
Oh no, the differences in Law and Order. Well, in the beginning, it was about law and order, and now it's about let me cram my political views as deep down your suck hole as I possibly can. Is that the differences?
100%.
Yeah. Because that's the change I've seen.
Well, yeah. Sounds like Grey's Anatomy. Ugh. I used to love that show. Now I can't even watch it.
I have never watched that show, not one time, and I never will.
Yeah.
Out of pure spite.
Never seen a minute of that show.
Yeah. Well, I don't expect you to. 20-year-old guy watching Grey's Anatomy, I'm going to have more questions. Why are you watching Grey's Anatomy? Because that doesn't make a lot of sense. This is one of those that we've been watching it since the inception, basically, of this show. And over the years, it's got so skewed politically, and I can't deal with it.
Oh,
every
you mean
time.
like...
I mean, like the whole Rona year. Oh, my God. We're in a hospital, and oh, my God.
Oh, we're wearing masks. Weren't you supposed to be doing that anyway? I mean, the one place that it made sense in 2019 for me to see a mask was in a hospital. Maybe don't make it.
It's not just that. It's every episode now.
Every
episode is what social justice thing are we talking about today?
Yeah, you want to know why Jeremy doesn't watch much TV? Because I don't care what you think politically. I don't care, and I don't care who you are. That's your prerogative. You do what you want to do,
right?
And maybe stop trying to convince me. How about that?
Right.
That's why I watch true crime documentaries for crimes that were perpetrated before the year 2020. Which is the year you all decided you have to think exactly like I do. And if you don't, you're a jerk.
Don't do politics. You're in the Sportsocracy.
Boom.
This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. When we come back, it's going to be daily draft time. The three of us, intern Jake, Jeremy, and myself, we're going to go through, what's this, the best wide receivers in the NFL?
Yes.
Nice.
We're each drafting our own four-man wide receiver core. And we'll see who has the best one.
I dig it. We'll see if anybody can come up with anything that even kind of comes close to that juggernaut that the Pittsburgh Steelers are trotting out there this year.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
With a clear sky and light winds tonight, the low should eventually cool down to 51. And then after some early sunshine Wednesday, there may be an isolated shower thunderstorm during the afternoon as winds pick up out of the west and the high hits 81. Still a slight chance for a shower thunderstorm on Wednesday night with a low of 57. On Thursday, it will be a little bit wetter with scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms at a high close to 81. Then a dry Friday with sunshine and a high reaching 84 degrees. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 eastbound between exit 2 and exit 4A. 240 eastbound again, slow between Tunnel Road and exit 8. 240 westbound, stop and go between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound, slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound, slows east of Brevard Road to the French Broad River. Merriman Avenue, north and southbound near W.T. Weaver Boulevard, expect delays due to an accident. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road, north and southbound, near Fletcher, near Fanning Bridge Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Pavard Road, north and southbound, near Long Shoals Road, slow. In the Fairview area, Charlotte Highway, near Cane Creek Road, delays. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Colonel Seasons, available at Harris Teeter.
Colonel Seasons adds interesting to popcorn and a second-grade chorus recital.
Don't put kettle corn seasoning on your teachers. Put it on popcorn and be a good citizen.
Colonel Seasons. Just add interesting.
Welcome back to the quickest podcast ever, brought to you by Kohl's.
Today's topic, Father's Day.
Yeah, I may have procrastinated a bit on getting my dad a gift.
Honestly, same. But Kohl's saved the day. I found great gifts my dad will love every day, like Nike Athleisure, stylish shirts, some grilling go-tos.
Wow, your dad is one lucky guy.
What can I say? He raised a smart kid. Wait, where are you going?
Off to Kohl's to make my dad proud.
See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Here's to the dads, the ones who show us what it means to love unconditionally, to laugh uncontrollably, and to live life with dignity. At Ingalls, we know that Dad doesn't always get the most attention. So this Father's Day, join us in giving the dads their due, along with the neckties, golf balls, and funny cards. We love you, dads, every day of the year. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy, and it's daily draft time. As Jeremy and intern Jake and myself are going to go through and pick our best wide receiver cores in the NFL, fantasy football style. And this is who you think is going to be best in 2023, or is this who has the most talent?
If you were building a receiving core for a team for the upcoming season, that is the premise of what you would do in this particular scenario.
Okay, so we're building for talent, not for situation.
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to clear that up. Jake has the first pick today.
He does.
And
I have a funny feeling
I was going to say, it's Justin Jefferson, right? We all know?
Yeah, it was Justin Jefferson.
It was Justin Jefferson.
Now, it's funny because Tank said Devontae Adams is the best wide receiver in the league. Jeremy said Justin Jefferson's the best wide receiver in the league. Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in the league.
Yeah, I agree. Devontae Adams is up there. Yeah. Stop that.
I mean, look, Justin Jefferson, to me, it's a 1A and 1B.
Yep.
Which is why I was very happy that I had the second pick, because it was not difficult for me to go, oh, I don't get Justin Jefferson. Whatever will I do? I'll take Jamar Chase. Yeah, it wasn't hard for me in the least. If I was picking a receiver for fantasy football this year, I would take Jamar Chase. I wouldn't think about it twice. Mm-hmm. He's my number one receiver, and it's really not all that close. Mm-hmm. Because when you start talking about situation, Jamar Chase is in a way better situation. Mm-hmm. If I was a defensive team lining up against Minnesota, I swear to you, I would put my lesser two outside starting corners, a safety over the top, and I might put another corner over the top. And just go, beat me with anybody else. I dare you, because I don't think you can.
Mm-hmm.
And to reiterate, you can't run a greasy peg up a cat's keister. So Good luck with that.
Well, I have the third pick here, and I guess at this point, sucks to suck. Like, I missed out on the top two. There were no doubters.
No, I guess whatever will you do?
But I get it at the turn here, and so I got the opportunity to get a couple of great ones, in my opinion. And I'm going to go at number 3 with A.J. Brown of the Philadelphia Eagles.
I don't like you.
I
thought I could take him at 5, and I'm less than happy right now.
I don't know that you'll be too happy with my second pick here, because at 4, I'm taking CeeDee Lamb from the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep, I didn't even kind of see you doing that.
Why?
Because there's a name that you didn't take that you always like shoehorn into these conversations, and you didn't do it.
And I didn't do it. Okay.
I mean, look,
I don't know who you're talking about. But
Davante Adams, the guy you just said was the best receiver in the NFL.
However, you also just said who's going to have the best year this year.
I did.
And it's not going to be Davante Adams.
I don't know that I agree with you.
Okay. I don't know who's going to play quarterback for that team.
I don't know that I care.
And even if it's Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't know that I care. Okay.
Here's why. Look at the teams on their schedule. I don't care how good your defense is. First of all, back half of that team, not great.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be in a ton of shootouts. Who's the beneficiary of that? I
Davante
like
Adams,
Jacoby Myers. I like Hunter Renfrow.
Mm-hmm.
I rookie tight end. I can't get all the way in on Michael Mayer. I think 3 years from now you're going to love him, but I don't know if you're going to love him this year.
Mm-hmm.
Davante Adams is about to have a special kind of year, whether it's with the Raiders or not, because I do know he is real angry right now. I'm not even second guessing what you did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very shocked you didn't take Davante Adams.
Look, if he stays with the Raiders, I don't like it all that much. And then also, if I'm building a team, am I taking Davante Adams over these young dudes? I don't think
Well,
so.
for one season, which was the premise here.
Mm-hmm.
So I will happily sit back and go, I'm taking Davante Adams.
Yep.
So I started Jamar Chase, Davante Adams, and I feel pretty good about this. My fourth pick could be Jeremy Green, and I still feel like I have done pretty well.
Alrighty. So my second pick here, I got the best wide receiver in the league, and I'm going to get the fastest wide receiver in the league, Tyreek Hill.
That was the had Tank done what I thought he was going to do, that was who I was going to take.
And so that leaves me with the third, and I'm going to take Cooper Kupp.
Can I say something about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I am so out on Cooper Kupp this year.
But I don't know why. I mean, he still had the stats last year.
He did.
And that's all you're looking for.
He also
that's all some
there's
people
also
are looking
now
for.
nothing on that roster. Not PFF. ESPN just did a ranking the core of every team. I think it's pretty easy to figure out who the 3 were. It was the top 5 players on each team.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Aaron Donald.
Yep.
Who do you think the other 2 were?
Oh, that's a Tyler Higbee.
Nope. Ernest Jones.
That's not bad.
The linebacker.
That's not bad.
And Steve Avila that they just took in the second round.
That says a lot.
I'm looking at that roster going, that is an expansion team roster, and I'm only worried about one guy.
Mm-hmm.
So now I can fixate on you're not going to beat me. If you want to beat me with Tyler Higbee, more power to you.
Mm-hmm.
You want to beat me with Ben Skowronek, more power to you. I ain't doing it.
Cooper Kupp still had, like I said, he still had the stats last year, and there wasn't nobody on that team.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you.
And it was John Wolford throwing him the ball for several games.
And who's the other one? Bryce Perkins.
Oh, God.
Who,
that was bad.
It was not.
Cooper Kupp is a stat accumulator.
He is.
And it's a fine pick.
I love it.
I'm not saying it's not a fine pick. I'm just, for this exercise, it makes all the sense in the world.
Yep.
I am not so sure just doing my fantasy football prep work. I'm seeing Cooper Kupp go in the top 5, and it's giving me the angina. And I'm just realizing that I will have Cooper Kupp on 0 teams this year. Now, there's a player I want, and I feel like if I don't take him, Tank's going to take him out of spite.
Mm-hmm.
But is it too high? You know what? I don't care. Name's on the door. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Ooh.
I like that.
I started with 2 outside receivers, and now I have the best slot receiver in the NFL, not named
Feel
Cooper
like
Kupp.
that was a little early on ASB, but you were right. He may not have come back to you.
Oh, I had zero doubt he was coming back to me. There's one that I left out there, and I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because either you're going to do it or he's going to fall back to me.
Right. Well, the first one is Stephon Diggs.
Yep, that was the one. That was the one that I had a really good idea he was not coming back to me.
All right, so I've got A.J. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Stephon Diggs, which I feel pretty confident in. And then the 4, if they're number 1 in Flostradamus's heart, then I guess I got to go DK Metcalf from the Seattle Sea Chickens.
I can't fault you there. He was certainly in contention to be my final selection. I only have 2 names here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one I want to say so bad. And I know definitively. You know what? I don't care.
Got them glasses on?
Jalen Waddle.
Oh, he surprised me.
Yeah. I thought you were going a totally different direction
Oh,
there.
trust me, it took everything in my power.
Oh, I thought he was going Garrett Wilson. No
Oh,
doubt.
trust me, it was hard for me not to.
Jalen Waddle, I considered taking him with one of those last 2 picks, but because I'm of probably the vast minority opinion, I think Jalen Waddle ain't that far off from Tyreek Hill, and he may be better.
I'm not gonna say better. I could easily see this be the year where the crux happens.
Cross, yeah.
That Tyreek's getting older.
He gets on the
Jalen
downhill,
Waddle
yeah.
is in the prime, and now they cross and they really turn into a 1A, 1B.
Okay. All right, and the final pick of today's daily draft, best wide receivers, or building your best wide receiver core for 2023. Intern Jake.
I was thinking about taking Garrett Wilson here, but this guy has been on the board the whole time. He had a terrible year last year. Not really terrible, but terrible in his standards. Again, you don't know who's playing quarterback in San Francisco, but I'm going to take Deebo Samuel, and I think my team is the best in the draft.
All right, so we've never done this with intern Jake before.
What?
We've never done the say it at the same time undrafted free agent.
Oh, the undrafted free agent.
So, Jake, here's how this works, and there's some strategery that comes into this, and it's much more so now that there's a third person here. When we first started doing the daily draft, we did the undrafted free agent. How it worked is that Tank and I would say the name of our 5th pick at the same time. If we said the same name, nobody got them. If we said a different name, then we each got the guy that we said. So there is an element of, is there a guy you really want, or do you want to keep somebody away from me? Because I don't think it's that hard for you to figure out who I'm getting ready to take.
Okay. So we're just all gonna shout it out at the same time,
and then we'll decipher what it was.
All right. So 3, 2, 1.
DeAndre Hopkins.
See, we all went
there we go.
You went DeAndre Hopkins.
He did go DeAndre Hopkins. I didn't hear who you said.
I said Chris Olave.
That's a good one, and I'm not going to lie. Olave was the other name that I was going to say because I thought you might say Garrett Wilson. Then I went, you know what? If I can't have him, none of you can.
Absolutely. And
I wanted you to
will
take
let you have him.
No one can have him if I can't have him.
We will definitely let you have it. I also considered T. Higgins in that scenario.
I was thinking about Scary Terry.
I did too.
Yeah, that was another good one.
See,
but
that's the
we
thing.
all knew who you were taking.
Well, that's the reason that I wanted to break that out right there is because to me, you get to 12. I don't feel like any of the 12 that went are not the 12 we would have had we planned this ahead of time. That's the 12 guys that should have gone.
Yeah.
And then it gets into that, but then what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a couple guys that didn't get drafted that I'm like, Olave's one.
Mm-hmm.
The only top 10 receiver according to PFF last year that didn't go was Keenan Allen.
Mm-hmm.
You get into like the Drake Londons, who I'm really high on, Amari Cooper, Devontae Smith. It's just an interesting little exercise.
I like it.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. We will not be with you tomorrow.
We have no show. There's Braves baseball. This will be the first of 3 preemptings that we catch in the next 2 weeks. But we will have a lot of things going out on the Insecuregram, the TikTok, all of the different social medias. And Tank, enjoy a day off. Jake, enjoy a day off. Y'all know what I'm going to be doing. I've already come up. I got 321 days to prove to people I need to be in the reboot of Cheers.
He's going to be practicing on those Jell-O shots.
Don't make me do it. I will make a batch of Jell-O shots and literally record it for TikTok. And I don't have to work tomorrow, so that sugar coma is what can be tomorrow's problem.
Use sugar-free Jell-O. Don't do that to yourself.
They make sugar-free Jell-O?
Absolutely.
They make vegan bacon. Why does that surprise you?
You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. For one last time today, Jeremy celebrating
your 2023 NBA champion, Denver Nuggets. I'm a man of the people, and today I give my team to you. And breathe it in, man.
The dynasty has begun. We will be back with you on Thursday right here in the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville and YouTube, 3 o'clock. See you then.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Light delays 40 westbound between the 26-240 split and the Smoky Park Highway. Earlier accident on Merriman Avenue near W.T. Weaver Boulevard, now in the clearing stages. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road, is slow. In the Fairview area, Charlotte Highway near Cane Creek Road, traffic is slowing both directions. I'm Linden Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Pool season is here, but open roles got you underwater? Check out Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Life is short, and if we spend our time suffering with pain and it takes away our joy, that's not a very good way to live.
He's right. It's hard to be happy when you're in constant pain. QC Kinetics patient Chad admits the chronic pain in his knee really robbed his quality of life.
When I was going to the traditional doctor and getting the pain pills, my smile wasn't as big as it usually is. Going to my high school reunion on crutches, it was awful.
But then Chad visited QC Kinetics. He experienced the real power behind natural regenerative treatments. Using healing properties from his own body, QC Kinetics was able to restore and repair damaged tissue, finally giving Chad lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime.
And I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
Learn how advanced regenerative medicine can help your body heal itself at QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
This September, our iHeartRadio Music Festival is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 22nd and 23rd at T-Mobile Arena.
Streaming live only on Hulu. Tickets go on sale Friday, June 16th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. But starting tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, Capital One cardholders can score tickets and other awesome experiences before anyone else for 48 hours only or while pre-sale tickets last.
Visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One for more pre-sale details.
What's in your wallet?
At Ingalls, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that, and that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
With a clear sky and light winds tonight, the low should eventually cool down to 51. And then after some early sunshine Wednesday, there may be an isolated shower thunderstorm during the afternoon as winds pick up out of the west and the high hits 81. Still a slight chance for a shower thunderstorm on Wednesday night with a low of 57. On Thursday, it will be a little bit wetter with scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms at a high close to 81. Then a dry Friday with sunshine and a high reaching 84 degrees. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by STEM.
If the weather calls for rain, then the rain calls for mosquitoes. Keep them away with STEM. STEM is powered by active ingredients found in plants to repel mosquitoes safely and effectively when used as directed. STEM, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.